G'day guys, and welcome back. And very sorry about the last minute delay. The internet in my area actually has gone down. I tried 2 modems, but the internet died, and all of a sudden it's come back. So this is an unscheduled live stream this week because a few things have happened. So we have Jason here as well. So once again, thank you for joining us, and very sorry about the lateness and the technical difficulties again. So we will bring Jason in. Hey, Jason, finally, we're on.
Finally. I'm trying to explain hotspot to Aaron's like performing brain surgery.
Oh, I'm just not a computer nerd. I hate computers.
Bloody hell. Oh, well, we're here for another, I guess, well, it's the Wednesday night live stream because we thought tomorrow probably would be no good. All of our plans have been thrown into disarray. So I'm not going to Queensland because that bastard Parler closed down the borders. So got a voucher back from Jetstar and looks like I'll be spending a week at home. So, oh, well, what do you do?
Yeah, once again, your state has failed you, ruined your Christmas plans. So it's not good at all.
People voting Labor in Queensland, you know, dumb and dumber. Last time I heard there were even shooters voting for Labor up there, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, exactly. But then again, we don't have a COVID problem here. It's you guys bringing your disease up to us. So not good at all.
What's been happening anyway? What's going on?
Oh, not much. It's had storms every day. Can't even go out shooting, but hopefully be going out next week. I've got so many videos I've got to film. So hopefully next week we will be going out. So apart from that, not much. Just been doing maintenance around my property. I've got trees growing in all my pipes. I've had those cleaned out today. So hopefully that will fix the problem. But before we start, guys, can you just hit that subscribe button and the thumbs up for this video? We want to make this a big night and try and get as many people, try and break the record of 240 people on at one time. So you got any friends, please give them a call, get hold of them, tell them to get on. Friends and family, come and watch what we're going to be talking about tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we can stay a little bit later tonight if everything goes all right and it doesn't cut out. So, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we don't want it to cut out. We're going to do a bit of a special. We'll see not how long we can go, but we'll probably definitely add in a bit more time and answer some more questions. See what you guys have got going on. See if you bought anything for Christmas. See if you got any planned purchases. We'll talk about that. Yeah, we'll just, questions, answers, Q&As, discussion, basically a Christmas special.
Exactly. And we'll just thank a couple of people here. Major for the $5. Love unscheduled SSA and AHP content. Thank you very much. And thank you for the super chat. And Yuck Food Tube. No fuck Pele. Have a Lapua round on me. Thank you very much. I do want to buy a Lapua for my 50th birthday, but a little bit down the track. I've just done quite a large purchase that you'll find out about next year. So and any new guns will probably be knocked on the head just for now.
Yeah, I don't have any planned either, really. At the moment, I'm still waiting on my gun license. It's been, what's it been now? It's, what are we, December? Yeah, in about 5 weeks, it'll be 12 months to get a license renewed. I noticed online yesterday, I took a few genuine reasons off and they seem to have disappeared. But I just thought I can't handle this any longer, man. So I ended up going to the, rang up my local member, went to the police minister, called their office, and then just put it in writing, mate. And hopefully that'll push them on, spur them on to get that license approved. So what can you do? If you're waiting too long, just go see your local member and go see your local police minister and express your displeasure how long the process takes.
I thought they'd sorted it out for you. It was all good when you got hold of them.
Well, I did. I thought so. Yeah, she called me up and they were friendly. I'll give them that. They were friendly. She was friendly. She just said I paid the incorrect fee, which it's not her fault. She goes, it's not my fault because that's basically pre-scheduled already on there. It's already pre-filled out. You can't not pay any different. You don't put the amount in. It's already there, and then secondly, years ago, I used to have category D for VPAC pest control when I was doing that contract work pretty much, during when I sort of first started the podcast and then up to probably halfway through. Then I just got too busy. I want to go on my own hunts. I want to film. I want to make podcasts and that. So I pretty much gave it up. And then she said, well, you've still got category A and B for VPAC for your genuine reasons. So we need more detail on all the tax returns and all that stuff. I said, listen, with COVID and all that stuff, I don't do that anymore. So just happy just to remove that from the license. And then I think the other one was more details on collecting. I had my collectors on my license, which I honestly forgot about, to be brutally honest. So, just got rid of that as well. And, hopefully now they'll be able to approve it. But that was 3 months ago that they said it would be approved in a couple of weeks once they did the criminal check. And I haven't done anything wrong, man. So the cops haven't come to my house. So I'm a pretty good boy. So, I'm not sure what's taking them so long and should have been done like 2.5 months ago. But, well, man, it's not my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. So at the end of the day, they've got to, just issue licenses within a reasonable time frame.
Yeah, exactly. Well, mine took overnight, as you know. So I don't know what hold up in your state is.
I think it was all that stuff, that guy, that one in Borkham Hills, not far from me in Western Sydney here, where what was he, a Russian dude or whatever, or he brought over a Russian bride, but he had kids with her. I think it was 20 years difference, I think, and he ended up getting the gun license and got the commissioner's permit and ended up shooting himself and his 2 kids, and then 6 months later, his wife committed suicide. So very, very sad situation that, like we keep saying on the show, you can have all the laws you like in place, but it doesn't stop bad people doing bad things. So, people, that's one of those cases where, somebody will jump through the legal hoops to get a gun. I mean, probably would have been easier to get an illegal gun, you would have thought. But, the commissioner gave him a permit and it ended up costing 3 people their lives, or 4 with a suicide as part of that as well. Obviously she couldn't live without a kid. She didn't want to go on, so she committed suicide. Very, very sad story. Very sad story indeed.
It is. So we'd like to thank Matt here. He's a great supporter of the show. I challenge everyone on here to do a super chat tonight. Let's break a record and send the boys off with a bang. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, I had so much planned to go shooting because this is one time a year I actually get to hook up with Jason and we always have a great time, and I'd organise some pretty cool videos, and now that's all turned to shit. So we do have a few other ones here.
Hey, 1 second. I told Aaron, I said, listen, he goes, nah, it's all going to be good, man. Don't worry about it. I remember he said this, don't worry. No dramas, man. It's going to be this was like months ago. I said, man, I've got a feeling something is going to happen. We're going to get some outbreak in New South Wales. And what happens literally 2 to 3 days before I'm leaving? Bloody Palaszczuk. But again, she's just been re-elected on the back of a high from all the people in Queensland. So she's happy to shut borders because she doesn't get re-elected. What is it, 3 or 4 years up there? 4 years up there between things, or is it 3 years? I can't remember. But
4 years. Just stuck with her, I think.
Well, exactly. She's in Boulder now, mate. She's just been re-elected, so she feels fantastic and instantly people will forget what happened 4 years ago, so they don't really care. So, mate, shut the borders, and now I don't get to spend, time with, just you, my mate. I got all my family live there. I got my mates here, so I'll do something for Christmas and that, no problem. But at the end of the day, mate, my parents were a bit quiet because they're still old school Labor voters. Don't hold that against them. I always do. But and as soon as I said, well, you voted for the bastards. This is what we get. I can't even spend time with my family because of the bastards you voted for. Oh, and then all of a sudden they go quiet, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Not good. Carlton East, $5. Thank you so much. Second that, Matt. Thank you. Thank you to everyone that supports the show. Your donations really do help to make these videos. And I was going to do some awesome stuff. We'll talk about that soon with Jason. At least we can talk about what we're going to do, I guess. And one from our friend Chris Miller down at Victoria. So he's just been through all this in Victoria. And now it's your turn, Jason. $30. Thank you so much. Can't watch live tonight, lads. At a Christmas do, and it's my birthday, but I'll be watched later on tonight. Happy birthday, Chris. Yeah, don't know how old you are, but yeah, have a good one. Have a drink on us. So we'll probably end the live show when I finish this bottle of Jack Daniel's Gentleman Jack. So that's probably a good counter of whenever the show will finish, and I'll be on the floor.
I know. I don't normally drink that much. We've got a couple of, what do we got here? I didn't mind those when I was down on the Riverina, the old Summersby pear ciders, man. Yeah, I'm one of those little gay cider drinkers, so which is fine, but they're actually pretty good. I don't mind them. I'm a bit of a vodka drinker. I'm not really a beer drinker. I'm more of a white spirits drinker, so these are bloody not bad. And I've got, what do we got, Aaron? Let's show it. We've got a couple for the road, you know what I mean? Couple in the ice, mate, sitting on the ice there, ready to go.
Nice. Well, I'd actually brought a carton of those for you last week, sitting in my bar. So I'll just polish those off for you this week.
Yeah, well, there's not much we can do, man. It's just a real shit situation. I think most of us, and people probably be watching this stream as well, just want to get back on with normal life. I mean, I'm sick to death of just hearing about this and lockdowns. I mean, 8 people out of 6.5, almost 7 million people in Sydney. And they shut borders down for 8 people. One of my cousins just went down to see her dad. She's lived in Queensland now, but she used to live down here. She came to see the dad. They had as soon as they heard, they had basically 12 hours to get back to Queensland, and she waited 3.5 hours at the border. So it's just really for 8 people, this is just a cluster. You can finish that sentence.
Absolute clusterfuck. That's for sure. It's all politics, playing politics with people's lives and people's families, and it's totally and utterly wrong. And the New South Wales girl went to my local pub. Now my whole pub's shut down, so I can't go there. One of my normally haunts where I go.
Yeah, so, I'm not normally a drinker. Probably only drink once or twice a year if I'm lucky. But here's Andy. Andy 1234777. Where's your man bun, Jace? Right here, mate. I'm growing one out right here with the ciders, mate. Right on my head.
No, there's nothing wrong with ciders. I don't mind them, especially here in the heat in summer. I do knock a few of them back.
They really go down well, eh? Look.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't got my cigars here. Could do with a nice cigar tonight.
Anyway, what do you do?
And so before we get into it, we do have to tell you guys to go and join the NSC, which sponsors this live stream. And they've been very, very good friends of the show. And this week, they actually got back a member's license, because tell me another organisation that fights and goes to court for their members. So one of their members lost their license through some COVID bullshit. They went into bat, and within a week, they got their licenses back. So if that's not worth using Jason's and mine promo codes, doesn't matter which one you use, as long as you join, you'll join for $10 for the first year. So you can't beat that. And imagine that when they become a genuine reason, it's going to cost you $10 to sign up instead of paying $100, $40, the other two useless mobs who do nothing for you. So all the links in the description. So nothing better than a $10 subscription for Christmas to the NSC. Remember, guys, show me another organisation that fights for their members, goes to court on their behalf to get their licenses back, because I have not seen one yet, apart from the NSC.
I'm not sure. Before we go any further with that, I don't think they went to court on that one. I think they just made representations to the Victorian police and then didn't go to court. So let's just be clear about that, if I'm correct. So they just went into bat for the person. This happened before too, a couple of months ago as well. I think they went into bat to the Victorian licensing, and the license was given back. So didn't have to go to court or anything like that. And, we just want to make clear too, also just one thing for people out there. Listen, we're not saying every time something happens, they're going to go into bat for you. $10 is not going to buy you a court case. So we want to be clear about that. They'll try and help you any way they possibly can. Obviously, if you're not guilty, that's better off. If you're going to be guilty, you're probably going to have to seek your own sort of legal advice on trying to, get that license back somehow, or plead guilty and, get someone to represent you. But at the end of the day, they just did representations, and the gun license was given back, which is pretty good. I mean, again, as Aaron just said, name one organization that's got their gun licenses back for their members. Only one that I can see right now, which is fantastic. So, upwards and upwards for 2020. Let's hope we get some good results. We're not always going to win. There's going to be a lot of mostly losses along the way, but if we can win some along the way too and cause as much grief for them as possible in regards to, taking things to court or tribunals or whatever it may be, then that's what we have to do. And they might see it as us being difficult, but it's not us being difficult at all. It's just we just want to get on with our lives and get on with our business. They're the ones that keep constantly wanting to attack our sport and attack what we do. We don't want to attack them. We just want to go on with our business, go shooting and hunting, and pretty much be left alone, but they just won't let us do that. So I don't feel guilty. We shouldn't feel guilty. The organizations should not feel guilty about just every turn. And if they think, well, we're being basically like serial pest litigants and so forth, well, mate, stop attacking us and we won't have to do it. We just won't have to do that. So we'd love that. We'd love you just to leave us alone so we can go about our business. And as good law-abiding people, fishing, shooting, hunting, whatever it is you partake in, just leave us the darn hell alone.
Yep, exactly. I agree 100%. But, as I said, and also when they become a genuine reason, if they do become a genuine reason, $10, you can't go wrong. Who's going to pay $140 to the blah, 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 blah SA when you can pay $10 to join up with the NSC and get a gun license? It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Peter said here too, is at the moment the NSC's barrister is representing shooters in 4 states. He's flat out. Well, I guess I've been proven wrong then. So there you go. They are. But that's not obviously going to be for everybody. Don't think you're going to join and if shit hits the fan, you're going to get a free court representation for $10. But I'm sure they'd be case-by-case basis on whoever comes through the door. But I think old Yuck FoodTube, he's had a few too many ciders before he got onto the live stream.
Why's that?
If you go to his, he's just done another $10 super chat. He goes, F court, time to party.
Thank you so much, Chuck Fuchu. Really do appreciate it. It's just this whole year has been very humbling since my channel was taken down, and I lost absolutely 8 years worth of work, and I'm still struggling to get back. I'm up to 7,000 subscribers. I ended at 12,400. I was hoping to get back, but a lot of people didn't sign back up again. But it's been very humbling for all you guys signed up, your messages of support, the Patreons. Cannot thank my Patreons enough. That really does go towards everything. Jason's the same, but we're not one to ram the Patreon in every post down your throat. We should probably mention it more, I guess, because everything does help to make these videos, but we're just not that sort of people to be basically have the Biggington out all the time. But I guess it's our fault, really. But it's just been so great this year. It really has been awesome.
Yeah, no, it certainly has. It's been a very interesting year, hasn't it? Wish we could have done more hunting, more shooting. Well, I did a fair bit of hunting and shooting, thankfully, because at least our state dealt with it as best we could. So, yeah, but, things happen, man, I guess. What do you do? Just wishing it hadn't have happened at Christmas because, like I said, I don't know, even though I got a voucher for my airfare to go back up again, I don't know when I'm going to be able to get back up there, you know what I mean? So maybe I'll do something when it starts cooling off a bit. I don't like the humidity in Queensland, which is why I don't live there. So maybe we'll have to, when it cools off a bit, maybe we'll have to organise something and do something when it cools off a bit and that bloody humidity level drops down a bit up there.
Oh, mate, on here, he's probably here right now. He has organised a 196,000 acre station out west somewhere in Queensland that we can go and hunt on for a couple of weeks, which will be one hell of a really good experience. He's a Cat D shooter, so he's got all the good toys that we're not allowed to even look at, but he's got access to a property and they can't even keep up with the massive pig problem.
Just read one here too. I know he's put it up a couple of times now, so we might as well answer it. This is from he's got an Indian tech support person as his picture, and his name's Tech Support. Great live stream. Can I shoot an air rifle on 3 hectare property which partially lays on a mountainside, which I'll be using as a backstop for pellets in Queensland. I don't know the limit on shooting on Queensland properties and whether 3 acres is big enough. I think it's down to about 5 acres in New South Wales. I don't know if that's legislatively. It's definitely got to be zoned rural here in New South Wales. I know you're not in New South Wales, but again, mate, best thing to do, I hate to say it, don't rely on 2 idiots on the internet like us. Contact your local state's registry in writing via email and get a response back, mate. And if they don't respond within 2 or 3 days, write again, and then 3 days, write again, and then keep and ask them. That way, if it's in writing, you've got some sort of legal standpoint to be able to shoot on. So just remember that. And again, 3 acres, I doubt they'd allow you to use
3 hectares.
3 hectares, sorry. But I'm not sure they'd allow you probably to shoot a centre fire on that sort of property, possibly a rim fire, but probably an air rifle would probably be okay. But again, I don't know the laws in regards to how many acres you need. Maybe Aaron knows more.
Well, my understanding is, and don't take my word for it because it could have changed that, but as long as it is, can be any size property, got to keep the projectile inside the property, and as long as it's zoned rural, full rural. Like I was rural here for my 2 acres, but not long ago they changed it to rural residential. So I could have got my 300 rum out and just done 100-meter group tests on my own property. It'll go through my shed, through my neighbour's shed.
Exactly.
As long as you keep it inside your property, that's the main thing. But yeah, always go check with weapons licensing. And what I've learnt, get everything in writing. Just don't take their word for it. Get it in writing. But geez, a pellet gun. I come from a country where we used to shoot our pellet guns as kids down the hallway into a block of wood. And right up to my 20.
Some of these air rifles these days, man, are pretty lot stronger than they used to be, man, with some of those like FX air guns, those pneumatic or whatever they call PCP air rifles. So they're a lot like the old Springers of back in the heyday. So again, mate, contact I hate to say it, it's not a cop out. I just contact your local registry, man, because you don't want to take advice of 2 peanuts on the internet and then you go do something, you end up getting caught and it was wrong. So contact your registry, and as Aaron said, get it in writing.
Yeah, definitely get in writing, because then you've got there's no comebacks on you. It's because when it comes to hearsay, they're going to win every time because they hold the badge and you don't.
Yeah, Officer Thorsten on here. Hey, Jason, is RU2 zoning adequate? Silverdale is zoned RU2 because there's a range out there at Silverdale as well, and it's zoned RU2. I remember years ago, this is 3-4 years ago, I was going to shoot a goat. Help a guy put these goats down, and it's not far, just outside of Sydney. I think it was about 5 acres, 4.5 acres, maybe not even that big. And I emailed the registry as RU2 zoning, and they said, yeah, provided it was a rimfire. So I couldn't use centre fire on that size property, which is obviously fair enough, man. It's only, I think it was only 3.5 to 4.5 acres. I can't remember exactly, but it was zoned RU2, and they said I can only use a rimfire. So if I was probably going to shoot it, and 22 would definitely not be enough on a big goat, I was probably going to have to use slugs with a shotgun. But anyway, they ended up capturing it and did whatever they did with it. I don't know. They captured it and got someone to come and get rid of it, so I didn't end up having to do it. But if I did, it probably would have had to have been shotgun with slugs to actually put the bastard down. So
yeah, or gone in with a knife or a samurai sword. Oh, you can't have samurai swords down there, can you?
Well, yeah, but you can't chase his goat, man. They can run faster than us.
Well, you get out your ninja skills. Jesus.
Unless you're chasing around a quad or something, or a bike, but half your luck if you can do that. But if someone sees you hacking at a goat with a sword, man, it's not really going to imagine that. Shooting Stuff Australia or AHP hacks goat with samurai sword. It's not going to be a good. There's a picture of me, in the paper. It's going to be a bad look, man.
We can make a few jokes about it, but the fun police will be onto us. So, Dirty Fox, thank you very much for your $20 donation. Evening, guys. I've done permits for a Warwick Firearms WFAL, which is their light version. It's not a bad gun. In 223, and a straight pull shotgun. What would you choose, a Sulan or Berica? Well, I was just talking 10 minutes before the show with a friend of mine. I don't know. I'd probably go if you're going to shoot off a quad or out of a car. I would say the Sulan Arms, and I can tell you now, the Sulan Arms I got hasn't let me down, and I've used it quite a bit since I've done the review. And watch out for the next video that coming out about shotguns. So might persuade you on one of the two. And the Berica, it's got the magazine. It works really well. But if you're going to shoot out of a vehicle, I could see it getting a little bit hooked up. But and on a quad, the magazine would probably get in the way for mounting it on the quad while you're driving around. But I can tell you, personal experience, I've used them both and neither has failed me. I think it just comes down to what application you're going to use it for.
Yeah, exactly. And Officer Thor said again, thanks for the reply. Property he's looking at is around 35 acres. No, it should be fine then, man. But again, just email them, say zoned RU2, 35 acres. Here's the address or whatever it's going to be. What's the limitations or what's the, what's the issue? Is there any issues with shooting on that land? But again, make sure you ask them to refer to legislative requirements, not what they think. That's the whole thing. It's not what they think. It's what the legislation says. So just remember that and ask for them for which specific legislation. I mean, they're there to answer. That's what I mean. Should be there to answer questions. I know people have emailed this stuff before to people. They don't seem to get responses. Like, well, you want people to do the right thing, but you won't respond to their legal questions about what you can and can't shoot on. So, I don't know, just beggars belief sometimes.
Oh, it is. It is. And here we go. YouTube, FoodTube. Last one, I promise, for the $10 chat. Don't make promises you can't keep. If you feel free to donate more if you want.
Well, I'm just looking at another one. He's done one further than that down the track again too. So that must not his last one.
Oh, jeez. We have two. Slipped. Nice. Thank you so much, FoodTube. And we got our mate. If you want to see some awesome knives, go and sign up to Kraken Tactical EDC. Man, some of the knives these guys make are unbelievable. I'm actually found one on their Instagram page where I'm actually going to order it from them. This is an awesome knife. So go to Instagram and sign up with Kraken Tactical EDC. Their knives are amazing. They really are. Man, such skill in what they make. Something I've always been interested in is blacksmithing. As Jason knows, I love being creative and building stuff. We talk about it a bit. And something I've always wanted to do is to do some forging and make a knife. That's something I've always wanted to do, is to make a domestic steel knife. So go over and have a look at their Instagram page. Well worth a look. And the stuff they make is out of this world. So thank you very much, Kraken, for the $20 donation. Which I'm probably just going to spend again.
Anyway, they Australian or?
Not too sure. To be honest, no, I don't think they are. I don't know. To be honest.
Oh, well, let us know. Kraken Tactical. Are you from Australia or where are you from? Let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
I'll look them up right now while you're talking.
Well, I was just checking them out on Instagram, and I can't just says they got USA dealers. So I don't know. Tac Driver Armory, TSJ Gear. Doesn't say, man. But anyway, yeah, like a lot of people like the knives. I've got a mate like that. He just, loves just collecting knives. Seems to be a very, very popular thing. Some guys really like their steel, from swords to knives to, that's just all that sort of stuff, man. Even to their butchering knives, always good to have a good set of knives and that. So, especially when you're out in the field. I've had some blunt knives before when I'm trying to cape out a deer. And I'm like, God, this freaking thing. That's why I love the old Havalons as well with the replaceable blades. That way, sometimes if I'm there and it shits itself, I just clip, get my Leatherman out, unclip it, new one on, slip it on, and we're good to go. No sharpening out in the field. But there's no excuse also from no excuse not to get some good knives, some good Victoria Knoxes or Gerbers, whatever they are these days, these boning knives.
The Gerbers are now, most of them made in China. We all know what we think of China right now, so probably best not to buy those.
And Robert's Woodworking says, Jace, does New South Wales still ban zombie knives? Yes. Anything with green, with speckled blood on it, mate, banned in New South Wales. It's just, mate, as I said, me and Aaron have spoken about this before. It just beggars belief how bad this country has gone since the late 90s, or so even late 80s into early 90s. Probably, I reckon it really started shifting in the late 80s, probably in the early 90s. That's when it really started to, towards the 2000s, really started to go downhill, unfortunately. Yeah, I guess we live in the best country in the world, but, man, these politicians, they make some really stupid decisions that just don't make sense to any of us. Like, why would you ban a green knife? I mean, you know, you just look at this stuff and you just think, why? Like, how can people be so stupid? Like, and these people are leading the country. These people shouldn't be leading the local, lemon juice stand or lemonade stand. It's just unbelievable.
Yep, exactly. Well, I've got a video out that's actually done quite well on the zombie knife ban. I'm actually getting messages from that video from a lot of guys overseas. Just can't believe it. Just absolutely staggered by what's happening over here. They really are. It's just unreal. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I think America is going to be in the same sort of boat with us coming up with the President Kitty Sniffer.
Well, hey, they say never. I'm still holding. You're probably right. I've said to Aaron the other day, he's probably right. Trump's not going to get back in. They've basically got one last hope, and that hope is on January 6th that they get enough of these bastard Republicans that are gutless and spineless to stand up and refute the Electoral College votes, and hopefully they get a lot of them. So anything can happen. If they do, then it gets thrown back to the House. If it does get thrown back to the House, and then Mike Pence doesn't certify the election, then it becomes down to one state per vote. And I think Republicans hold 30 compared to 22 or 21, if I'm correct. I'm not exactly 100% sure, but it's close to that. And then Donald Trump gets reelected. But, there's a big thing. If none of those Republicans stand up, and there's not a bunch of them that stand up saying no, then I kind of feel sorry for Mike Pence, actually, because, mate, he's going to be in a really hard position to have to certify Joe Biden, especially when, he's in cahoots with Donald Trump, and Donald's probably not going to be happy. So he's going to be in a real hard position in the next couple of weeks. And I kind of feel sorry for him in that respect, having to be put on his shoulders.
Yes, definitely. I agree. It's just I just wish it would hurry up. You're sick of waiting, nearing about it.
Yeah,
he
definitely won't concede, though. I don't think he won't. He says we stolen an election, so I doubt he won't. If Biden does win by all these illegal measures, well then I don't think Donald Trump will turn up to the inauguration, and then hopefully it's just, I'm sure it'll be Donald Trump on Twitter and the internet putting shit on Joe Biden for the next 4 years, and either A, runs again, or someone from his family runs again. I mean, the Republicans have got to get with the program, man. They're a dying party. Donald Trump brought 76 million votes to the Republican Party, more than anyone. And then you got idiots like Mitch McConnell, Mitt Romney, these just white-handing bastards that just won't shut up, man. They just won't shut up. There's nothing worse than a white-handing bastard. And those two guys, especially Mitt Romney, it's like, dude, you lost to Obama. You're not popular. No one likes you. Shut up and just go into the sunset, into oblivion. No one cares about you. You didn't get 76 million votes.
Exactly. The whole thing's a farce. I hate politics with a passion, and don't follow it that much because I got better things to do with my life. But it's blatant to see. It was just an absolute criminal scam. The whole fucking thing. It's just unbelievable. Now, here's something I was talking about this week with some people, actually. The Wild Horse ordered a CZ515. Might get it next, Chrissy. Yeah, pretty much. And my mate, Nick here, same thing. Same here, ordered the 515 in March. To me, I'm sorry, waiting that long for a gun for almost a year is unacceptable. It's just unbelievable. Winchester need to pull their finger out of their ass and get onto it a bit better. People are putting money down these guns, telling they're going to be here in November. My mate was told they're meant to be in his hands in November, and here we are, December, coming to January, and he's heard nothing about it. I know the COVID thing's a bit up and down, but these aren't coming from America. They're coming from the Czech Republic. So I just don't know what the hell's going on. I really don't. Waiting a year for a gun is unacceptable in my view. Just get the bloody things out.
how long these things are going to take, production. We've got COVID, all these restrictions, all these countries. It's just a bit of a shit this whole year. I'm sure most of us thought, 2020 is the start of a new decade, hey, this should be an awesome year. I got stuck in the fires in Malakuta and in January of last year, almost had my ass burnt out. My mate's uncle's house almost got set on fire. Stayed there for 4 weeks inhaling smoke, and then COVID. And then it's like, I think we all just need to go to 2021, move on from this COVID bullshit, all go hunting and shooting, buy lots of guns, and enjoy 2021. We've only got so many years on this earth to make the most of it before, we're not going to be able to get out. We're going to get too old and decrepit that we can't go out. So, as I say, life's not on our side. It's every week we're getting older. So utilize what you can as much as you can and get out there and have fun.
Yes, I agree totally. I'm definitely getting older and things starting to hurt and fall apart on me, bad knees and everything. So I'm only 48 and I'm just sick of these politicians dictating my sport. I really am. Leave us alone and let us have our fun. We don't hurt anyone. We're all good people. Just let us get on with our lives. So it's just absolute bullshit. We've got another super chat from Matt. Yeah, it is. It is. Thank you very much, Matt. Merry Christmas. Hopefully 2021 year is a better year. My son showed how to use a super chat. Oh, sweet. Thank you so much, Matt. And thank you to your son. Merry Christmas to both of you and your family. It is awesome. And we got our mate Daniel Andrews here. Technically, 2020 was the end of the last decade, and 21 is the start of the next. Chin up. Yeah, but are they going to drag this COVID bullshit into the next one? Who knows?
And when you see and we'll get on some other topics away from this sort of stuff because we'll get on more positive stuff, but at the end of the day too, man, media screws us over. They've got a lot to answer for. They pretty much drive, all this stuff, and even about vaccine. They just drive everything, man. They drive everything. If you're not on board with them, you're made out to be the bad guy and you don't get re-elected, man. So just the media are just the worst of the worst. And, all the stuff we see and all the gun stuff we see, all the bans and all the troubles that we see, I just got to agree with Aaron now. Like all these politicians just, they really just have left a bad taste in my mouth. And they're all just, in my opinion, every single one of them is a parasite. No doubt about it. They offer nothing. They do nothing. And I'm sorry to say, probably going to get upset with me saying this. I'm talking about the pro-gun ones too. They bullshit to us. They tell us they're going to achieve results. They just never, ever do. And people get upset about that. Oh, you're against them. It's like, dude, I've been doing this for 10 years, and I'm just sick to death of seeing these people take money after money, promise after promise, and never delivering on a single promise legislatively. Like, I challenge anybody to tell me in the last 10 years what these pro-gun politicians have actually achieved in legislation.
On the table. We want to know. Put it down in the
comments. We'd love to hear it. People get hey, I was that guy. Me and Aaron used to talk about it all the time. I was that guy. Got to vote, got to do this, got to write the letters, do this, do that, yeah. But then I realized that 10 years, man, I was wasting my time with these people. Not one thing I wrote about in the over 1,000 letters that I've sent over 10 years has ever come true, has happened. You can't beat them. You just can't beat them. There's no doubt about it. Like the cops, they got endless amounts of money to bankrupt you if they want to take you to court. It's just how it is. You've got to realize when you're beaten. Doesn't mean we give up. Definitely not give up. But we've got to rechange our strategy a little bit. Rechange our strategy around a legal aspect of like the NSC's been doing, starting that legal aspect. People say, oh, these politicians, they do this, the pro-gun ones, they do that. Oh, they got this. Yeah, they have had some wins. They were 15 years ago. And since then, we've just gone backwards with promise after promise after promise. We've never, ever delivering on any one of those promises. So, again, that's why I've been saying for the last couple of years is I don't even follow half of them on the internet anymore. I don't follow their pages. I've unliked their pages because, hey, and people say, well, you're not going to know what they do if they do something. And I go, maybe I'm in this game. If they did something, somebody's going to come and tell me about it. Someone will message me, oh, did you see this? We won this. I don't get emails because it's the same old, same old. No result. That's what the same old is. There's never any results. That's why I don't hear from them. That's why I don't need to follow their pages, because it's just ineffective. It is ineffective. And that's why I've been saying now, probably the last 12 months, we need to do this legal aspect, and we're going to get a lot of losses. But you know what? At least we're doing something. We're trying. It's actual physical, putting our, utilizing our resources and putting our best foot forward in some sort of legal aspect, even if it means they've got to turn up at a tribunal. Make them work for the money. Tie them up in the tribunals and the courts all the time. That's just the only way I see it work. There's no point pro-gun politicians blabbing in Parliament that have absolutely zero power. You can blab in Parliament all you like, but it falls on deaf ears because you don't have enough people, and you're probably never going to have enough people. It's been 25 years, and we still haven't achieved pretty much anything in 25 years, which is very disappointing. But that's why it's good to see the NSC and the guys, getting a lot of people getting behind them, and a lot of other organizations really good getting behind them as well, and supporting them in that legal aspect endeavor. Sure, some people are upset because, as Aaron knows, it's a bit of a pissing contest, isn't it, Aaron? With the people trying to, take away each other's, thunder, and that would be nice if they could all get together, but we know that's never going to happen. Everyone apparently holds the keys to the success of all shooters, but, a lot of it's all talk. A lot of it, unfortunately, is all talk and never, ever delivering. That's why, again, look at it, guys, and look at it from as me and Aaron were saying previously, just take the emotion out of it and look at what really is going on and look at the actual evidence of what they've actually achieved, which is nothing, and disappointing. So anyway, it's going to
be very wary of people pushing shooters, which is so cringy, pushing political parties that have done nothing for 50 years. You got to think, why are they doing it? There's got to be something in it, because, geez, I would never push a candidate that's been in Parliament, so-called pro-gun, for 50 years and achieved absolutely nothing. As we know, he's just the Joe Biden of Australia. Joe Biden with an Akubra. That's basically it. So the biggest cringe I've ever seen is a shooter pushing for fucking Australia's Biden. It's just wrong. I just can't get over it. So,
listen, mate, if you're getting results, I'll be first one. We both would be, and I know you would be too. We'd be the first one, crowing from the rooftops to say, "Hey, this guy's are getting results." And people always say, "Oh, well, what else? What else? And who else is there?" Well, there is no one else. There is nothing. There is nothing else. That's the whole point. That's why we've been pushing the legal avenue. And again, hate to sort of say it, but we've been right again, because people that have decided, we are going to do that, i.e. the NSC, they probably won't be the last people to do it either eventually, because people will see the benefit of doing that people are getting behind them, and it's working. It's started to work. We've had two? And if maybe Peter's still watching, Peter might be able to interject here as well. But how many? What was I trying to say then? How many guns have not been banned in WA because of their representation, which really would have been gone without their representation? So you can now own 2 more guns in WA because of their representation. Now, if you're not in WA, it doesn't really matter, but that's not the point. You didn't see the other organisations going into bat for these guns, did you? So,
not at all. And we are even, we've been saying this from day one, right back. Go look at some older videos from the beginning of when I had to restart my channel. Videos Jason and me were making. We were talking about all this. We had other channels shooting me down and giving me shit and spitting shit about me for what Jason and me were saying. And now people are coming to realize that we were right about what we're saying about writing letters. Waste of time. I've told you the story about the Queensland government lawyer that I've done work for. I've told you about that half a dozen times. And now everything we're saying 8-9 months ago is now coming to fruition, and people are actually agreeing with us. And we got other channels shooting me down, acting like fuckheads, all because they're not getting their own way. And we've been saying this. We were the only people during the beginning of the COVID saying, don't donate to us. Look after your families before you donate to Jason and me. It's just unbelievable. It's probably another rant we'll probably get into a little bit later about the whole YouTube thing, because Jason and me talk about the YouTube thing quite a bit, actually, as you're going to find out in the new year about some of the videos. It's just, the whole shooting industry to me it's pretty much fucked. It really is. It's just in this country, no one can work together. That's including YouTube channels. I've approached other channels, and they're basically just smug little pricks that won't help. Want to work together? I've approached them, talk to them. They just basically spit in your face. To politicians, to even to a lot of gun shops won't even work together and help each other out. To wholesalers, price gouging. Not all of them, just some of them, but it's just unbelievable. Why can't we're a very niche industry or sport? Why can't everyone just get on and work together? That's what I can't understand.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I've been saying that for years too, and I love I do like the new guys that get in there, and I love their enthusiasm. I remember I had I still do, but in an enthusiasm, I guess, in a different way, because I remember when I first started, we were gun ho, me and Muzz, and we were doing all the shows and doing all the discussions and the talking, and then when you think back on it, you just think, that were great shows, and we're still going to do those into the future. But it's like, well, what has actually come of this advocacy? What has come of these letters? What has come of our vote going to a pro-gun politician? What's actually come of it? And the answer is nothing at all, right? Nothing at all. There's been 1 or 2 wins, which has been good, but these were a long time ago, very, very long time ago. And I just like to see all these people get on and start supporting each other. But, we see, organizations, the big ones, unfortunately, not going into bat for shooters. And, again, like I keep saying, when getting people have got their hand out for, range funding and so forth, why would you bite the hand that feeds you? Why would you bite the hand that feeds you a genuine reason of constantly having to? And again, if you're a big organization, why would you get rid of genuine reasons when that's 90% probably of your membership base? Because if that was gone overnight, why would you advocate to get rid of that? You simply just wouldn't, because that's where your money comes from. And they're not going to bite the hand that feeds them, which is the National Firearms Agreement. So,
yep, exactly. That's what we've all been saying. But yeah.
Hang on, let me say one more thing to finish that off. It would be good if big organizations, and the NSC is doing it now, so if you get behind them, they'll have more money to be able to do that. If those big organizations were utilizing their money to do things like this, then everything would probably be fine. I'd be happy with that. Basically, if they were doing what the NSC was doing, but they just choose not to. Even after you read social media, and maybe people are just at them left, right, and center. There's not one positive thing they have to say about some of these organizations, and they must be reading this stuff, and they just go, "Oh, we don't care. We've got hundreds of thousands of members, so guess we're doing something right." Well, you're not really. It's a forced, genuine reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, it's Christmas, man. Let's get into some good, exciting chat. Let's get into something we can talk about the people watching the stream.
I'll read off their super chats because people are very kind to donate. Our good friend Bagara, Merry Christmas to all celebrating on 25th. Merry Christmas to all my Orthodox brothers and sisters who celebrate on the 7th. Well, Merry Christmas to everyone, and no matter what time of year you celebrate. Very good. Thank you so much, Bagara, for the $5. Moving down, we have... Oh, crap. There we go. Ollie Bean. Bren, no question, but $14.99. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And Yuck Food Tube's gone back on his word. Not the last one. $100 donation. Thank you very much. You are the man. Our new best friend.
He must be cashed up this Christmas.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate that. It's unbelievable. Thank you so much for your help.
I got one here too from Fortune Carey. He said the WSAA won't even try to push for suppressors, which is pretty much standard everywhere around the world. But they publish, I guess it says public, but I guess they publish glossy magazine. Yeah, I agree. I think most people would be happy to just abort the magazine and throw that money into some type of suppressor fund to push suppressors with politicians. But yeah, they'd rather get that awesome advertising, gun shop advertising money they get from the magazine. Don't forget, money and profit is much more important than your rights. I'm not saying that. I'm saying by their actions, that's what they're saying, by their actions. So I totally agree.
When I was unfortunate and belonged to them, I got the magazine for 1 year, and man, it was just a junk mail ad for gun shops. So it was just absolutely worthless. There's nothing in there apart from old guys trying to review 20-year-old 22s. It was just an absolute piece of FUD toilet paper. That's all it was. It's yeah, forget about the magazines. Get into fighting for your rights, our rights. But good news though from the WSAA. What is it? Jeff Jones and Bob Green are gone. So that's fantastic. That's something to celebrate, isn't it?
Yeah, worthless suckers that never achieved anything for anybody.
No, we're not saying anything, but a bit of a coincidence. They pulled up stumps all of a sudden at the same time. We don't know what the story is. We'll never know the truth because it's sort of like the Democratic Party, really. So we'll never know exactly what happened. But yeah, they just pulled up stumps and gone. We can all speculate and have our own theories, and we've all heard the rumours why. But yeah, it'd be nice if they release a statement telling the truth why all of a sudden they're gone, just like that. But it's good news. End of the dictatorship, but unfortunately, cut the snake's head off. Just another one's going to grow.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, I remember years ago, people that might have listened to it, you can probably go back and listen to it. I'll search it now while I'm talking to Aaron. But I did an interview with Jeff Jones many years ago, and obviously it was just waffle pretty much. And one time there, he was there saying on the show, episode 87, actually, this is May 17th, 2015. So WSAA President Jeff Jones. And he pretty much said the WSAA packs more punch than the National Rifle Association. I think I was having a drink at the time, probably like a Coke or something, and I almost had to spit my drink out. I thought, this guy's off his head. Does he seriously think the WSAA packs more punch than the National Rifle Association? I mean, this is the arrogance of these people. And, again, I'm just glad to see the back of them. But Aaron's right, where there's one, you have these people surround themselves with the exact same people. So, when you cut the head off of someone, so to speak, one's just going to pop up in its place, and it's going to be the exact same person with the exact same attitude. So,
exactly. But
let's hope for a fresh new year. If we can hope for a good new year and people join the NSC and these organisations that are doing something, or at least trying to do something, that $10 can go a long way. If we can get 1,000 shooters at $10. It goes a long way. Don't forget, AHP 25. Don't use shooting stuff 25. It's just too long. AHP 25. Just rolls off the tongue, guys. AHP 25. Pay your membership.
It does roll off the tongue, but everyone knows that shooting stuff 25 carries a bit more weight in the shooting arena.
And then Andy said, if I haven't heard any rumors, do tell, mate. We're not saying we've heard anything, right? We just don't want to get sued by anybody. We can't afford to get sued. Not that we would say anything. So we're just probably better off just leaving it at that. And thankfully, the back of those bastards are gone.
Yeah, I don't want to start the year off with a lawsuit. I've already had wholesalers threatening me in the past about my reviews because I don't say exactly what they want to say. So yeah, I don't want to go through that again. But that's another story.
But they'll never change, man. So it's just better off, as I said, to put your money behind organisations that will. And like I said, always said, I wish it was different, but unfortunately, it's not. And we've done nothing wrong. It's just these guys not being able to act, and they deserve all the negative publicity they get.
Exactly. And Colin's right. We've made progress this year from 0 organisations standing up for shooters to we got one, the NSC, that has progress. He's 100% right. We have gone forward this year. We've got one now from 0. So it's really good.
Well, that's right. 4 shooters wouldn't have their gun licenses now. That's offhand, just thinking what I know right now. And 2 guns not banned in Western Australia that would have already been done. So we'd have now 4 shooters that wouldn't be buying ammunition and guns because they'd have their guns taken off them, maybe not be able to afford to get legal representation. And then we've got 2 guns that you can now buy in Western Australia. So slow start, but it's the turtle's got to win the race, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. And
Steve's
Trevor.
right. Can we talk about fun stuff, not politics? Totally agree. Give us some tips, Steve. What do you reckon, mate? What do you think? What do you want to hear from? What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, guys, give us topics. We'll talk about anything. You name it. Doesn't have to be gun related. It can be something fun as well. We'll give you our opinions on life. Well, yeah, definitely. Trevor Hill, what you boys watch? Oh, fuck, what is it? You watch boys when the retards that hate guns come whinging when China lands on our doors from the putrid politicians selling our country from underneath us. You know, I've always wondered what's going to happen if we ever get invaded. It'd be an interesting one. That's for sure.
We'll be screwed in about 48 hours, probably.
Well, I did read that report about the military. We have enough ammunition and military to defend 20 kilometres of beach line in Australia for 20 minutes, and then it's game over.
Yeah. Well, here we go. Based on our one, here we go. Here's a good question. How many of you guys would be out there? How many of you would get suppressors? How many of you would hunt with suppressors? Would you get all your guns suppressor ready? Would you still use a muzzle brake? Would you bother getting one? Would you just shoot them as is? I think if I was me, most of probably the couple of guns I've bought, I've already threaded for the 22 would definitely be suppressed. Probably when I'm out hunting, if I was hunting big game like deer, not big game, but deer, I'd probably not carry one just because of how big it is, you know, in the end. I'd probably just shoot it like normal but every other rifle that's not really, per se, a walk-around hunting rifle, I'd definitely get suppressed. So all my heavy-barreled ones, I'd get suppressed. Definitely all the 22s, I'd get suppressed. Even if I had to carry around those, those little mini 22 suppressors, they're only tiny. So I'd definitely get most of my guns suppressed for sure. I think all the heavy barrels, definitely. I mean, you know, some of the things, you know, depending on the caliber, you don't even have to wear hearing protection. Of course, you still should. But if you do get caught without hearing protection, it's not a problem. Aaron, I remember when I went out that last bunny hunting trip, probably would have been early November. Man, I had one up like this, right? And I went to shoot, then bang with the muzzle brake on. And oh man, it hurt. I was there going, ah. So it would have been great to have a friggin' suppressor, man. I reckon, you know, why don't we have suppressors now? Why do we not have suppressors in 2020? Like, it's a tool for the job. Okay, I don't want to register them. Put a registration number on them. Maybe bang, straight onto a license. No problem, man. This whole greens and sniper stuff and contract killing, and it's just ridiculous, man. These other, even England, anti-gun England, you can have suppressors.
Yeah, they just came with a new round of gun bans in England, but they left suppressors alone.
Yeah, and you get the benefits of recoil reduction, probably not as much recoil reduction as your standard muzzle brake, but a pretty good sizable recoil reduction. And you get the sound reduction. It's not low, you know, like it's not low. It's just and there's a guy that did, someone said it to me, it might have been on the stream. There's a guy that did a video. He was downrange quite crazily, standing behind this piece of metal. And then what he did is he actually measured the downrange crack of a suppressed versus unsuppressed rifle. So at the shooting location, you don't get the crack, but at the target location, there's only about 2 to 3 decibels difference in a suppressed versus unsuppressed. So basically, there's no difference at all. Again, people think that they're actually a lot quieter, but they only are at the shooting location, which blew my mind. I never actually knew that. And I'll see if I can find the video and post it up in the next live stream. So you guys will find it very interesting. I certainly did anyway.
Yeah, I used to hunt with suppressors in New Zealand. Used to love it. Used to be great. As one thing I do miss. I miss my semi-autos and I miss my suppressors. It's something totally different. Andy, opinion on utes. I should be up in the Murray right now, but the Navara broke down this morning and put a damper on things. Well, I drive a 2012 Hilux, and Jason drives a Triton, you never had any problems with yours, have you?
No, it's been good, man. 70,000 Ks. I just service it myself now and do everything for it. So it's, mate, hey, touch wood, it's still going.
Well, I've put mine, Jason's always dumbfounded when he comes and sees my ute, through the absolute ringer. It's dented up. I drive it like it's stolen it, been down mountainsides, ripped the bottom out of it, the base plate over the engine. I can't even get it off anymore because it's just molded around the engine. It's hit so many rocks. The side rock.
All right, I think I've lost Aaron there. Not sure what's going on. Let us know in the comments, guys. I've lost Aaron. Let me know in the comments if you guys can still hear me. Oh, there we go. Back. God.
Yeah, just went black.
You cut out there for a few seconds. Sorry, guys. It's all good. We're back again. Say that again. Repeat that again.
Yeah, so I've put mine through the absolute ringer. It's got 150,000, 160,000. I'm very lucky. A good friend of mine was a mechanic. He works in the mines now, Darren. He was a mechanic for Toyota, so he services mine, helps me out. So, yeah, never missed a beat. Never missed a beat, the old Hilux. And said, car's a car to me. I couldn't give a shit about cars, spending money on cars. It gets me from A to B is all I care about, and gets me to the range. I don't care. I'd drive a bloody, a 20-year-old bit up piece of junk. I got better things to spend my money on. Less you spend on on cars, you can spend on guns.
Yeah, but I still like to look after my guns, my car, because, I can't afford to keep on. I mean, I can't believe how much they've gone up actually compared to the last time. Like I bought my Triton. It was a run out special on the 2015 MN Tritons. It was 26,500. No, sorry, 27,500 I got it for. Now how much are they now? 45, 49 for some of the the new MR that just came out. Yeah, man, there's shit that I guess it's been 5 years since I had my brand new car, so it goes quick, man. And the prices, certainly getting up there, even on the cheaper end of the 4-wheel drive spectrum. I mean, 50 grand for a car. I mean, if you're doing a lot of Ks, man, you could be going through a car in 5 to 7 years. I mean, 50 grand for 5 to 7 years. Luckily, I don't do many Ks, and I work pretty close to work, and most of the time I've either got a company car or I'm allowed to take to and from work. So I don't even drive my car out of the driveway some weeks. I mean, that's why, again, it's only got 68,000 in 5 years. Maybe I need to do some more hunting trips. That would help, eh?
Maybe you should get to Queensland. Oh, sorry. You can't.
I can't do that. Anyway, let's put up a bit of these questions too from some of these guys talking about.
I just want to thank Rod here, Fitzpatrick. I'll be sending the same amount to the NSC as I've started doing monthly. Awesome stuff. Thank you for the $50 donation. Really do appreciate it. And our friend Yuck FoodTube is back again for another $5 one. My ears are still ringing from 1993. Tell me about it. I shot my 300 run without hearing protection once, and it felt like I'd actually broken my bones in my ear and down to my jaw. It was absolutely awful.
Yeah, man, I agree. And Matt says, yeah, same question. Maybe I read it out at the same time. Will we ever get suppressors? Well, yeah, mate, I'd like to hope so. But, again, politicians are scared of their own shadows, mate. They put it this way. We're talking about people that banned gel blasters in South Australia because they reckon it's a real gun, even after years of saying it was only a toy, only to then say it's a real gun, right? So we're dealing with complete idiots, like that. And unfortunately, these idiots are in power. This is the scariest part. These psychopaths are in power. So we've got to be careful about, but again, that's what most people normally do when they're cops and they start joining the force. It's either some power move or there's just something wrong with them. And they come up with stupid cockamamie ideas like gel blasters being actual firearms. And Lone Wolf says, if I won the Powerball, I would sign every Aussie shooter up to the NSC. I probably would too, but I'll even go further than that. If I won a really good Powerball, honestly, I'd probably start, I won't say an organization, but I'd affiliate with only top quality organizations and I'd build just this massive range somewhere, have a gun shop. It would have clay targets. It would have pistols. It would have rifles. We'd go up to 1,000 meters. and we'd be there for everybody. There'd be no bullshitting. There'd be no FUDs. We'll support all shooters. That's what we would do, and we'd also be political as well. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? All I need is to win the 40 million Powerball, and I'll be there.
Yeah, I'd set it up out of town, like a few hours in the outback, and sort of do like like a coach or a bus service out there, sort of thing, for camping trips and all that sort of stuff. Because to get the longer distances, that's pretty much where you got to go now.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, yeah, exactly. But never know. Things can change. I mean, we'd like to hope. I mean, I think that's the last interview I think I ever did. I'll put that on the website now. But I remember my last ever political party interview I ever did. That was Bridget McKenzie. What was that, Aaron? I'll bring it up now. But I mean, she was talking something about suppressors. But I mean, 6 of one, half dozen the other. Was July 1st, 2020. So
what did I say about that? I said that chick is she threw me and Marty underneath the bus, and when all the crap went down with the media, just Queen FUD. She's just the queen bee FUD. She'll not do anything. She's done anything.
They were talking about suppressors, but like I said, politicians want to see them actually deliver on something. So I don't believe it.
That was 6-7 months ago you did that interview with her, and what's happened? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that's why that one, as I said to Aaron a bunch of the times, like I've just been enjoying, and the numbers have been pretty good. Just getting back into, just talking about hunting and shooting and activities. I've just been enjoying it because, again, I've been doing those interviews and they just never come to fruition of actually achieving any results. I just don't see any point in doing those anymore. Sure, people like them. And it's good to maintain relationships with people. But at the end of the day, mate, 10 years, you just got to start getting some results, man. The times of talking are long gone. It's like, what are you doing and when are you going to get the results? Stop talking shit to us. So, but anyway.
Well, I think the best podcast you have done, apart from the ones with me, which obviously some of your highest ratings still.
Lowest rating.
Highest rating. You actually told me that the other day. Hey, guys, tell me now in the comments, do you want Jason to do another podcast with me? He's been putting it off for 2 years now, even though I'm the third highest rating ever in one of his in his podcasts.
Geez, it must have been a slow month. Must have been a slow month that month, was it?
Well, the last slow 10 years. So do you want me to do a podcast with Jason? About time he stepped up. And we did a big podcast one night.
We'll see what we do. Don't we do the live stream, or what's it?
Two totally different things: a podcast and live stream. Two different channels, two different sorts of audiences, two totally different identities. So I think it'll be fine.
Here we go. Here's a good one too. Conservative sniper. Can someone tell me why? Now, Aaron's got to be careful what he's going to say here because I know what he's going to say, so don't mention names. But can anyone tell me why licensed pistol shooters are not allowed to carry pistol while out hunting and even plinking while on large private properties in country areas?
Because they think we're cowboys. That's what they said. No one's going to be a cowboy with a gun on their hip. The police.
But didn't you say there was one, and we're not going to mention it?
Oh, yes. Yeah, there was a organisation. We were going to get pistols on private land until they piped up and said, no, that's too dangerous. You can't do that. They should only shoot on ranges like ours. And I'll leave that story right there. That's, yeah.
Best.
Yeah. So that's why we can't shoot here. Plus, the police just said, Queensland Police Commissioner said they don't want people acting like thinking they're cowboys riding on horseback with a pistol strapped to them. Well, kind of like the police are riding around the public with a pistol strapped to them, untrained or poorly trained. So I don't know what's worth. I'd much rather see a shooter in private land miles away from anybody than seeing a cop amongst the civilian population, hardly trained, with a gun on their hip.
Exactly. Overland 4x4 says these live streams are the best. Well, thank you.
Right.
You know what I mean? We like to have a good time, and this is our pre-Christmas special, and we'll go as long as we can while you guys are going to keep watching and enjoy ourselves on this live stream, just talking whatever you guys want to talk about. Put some more topics, guys, in the comments. Anything you want to talk about, we'll actually bring up. And sorry if we're missing a lot of stuff here. It's hard to, even on the YouTube channel here, it's hard to keep up with all the things coming down on the live stream. So I'm just scrolling down and having a look here too.
We were going to do, the plan was, Jason was going to come up to Queensland. We are going to make some videos, have a good time again, and not eat KFC, of course, after last year. And then we were going to do next week, we were going to do a live stream together at my place in the gun room and have an absolute ball. So now that's all gone to hell. So if you want to see us do a live stream next week, if Jason's free, and I know I'm free, we're more than happy to do a New Year's live stream. We won't do it on New Year's night because you guys will probably be with your families and friends, but we might do it the day before New Year's Eve or something. Tell us if you want to see that. We'll do another one next week if you want.
And Jake Craig here says, he says, where, you know, or someone said, where would you put a range like that? And I said, well, anywhere in Sydney where we'd be able to shoot. That's if I won the lottery, but probably not going to happen, obviously. But Jake Craig says a shooting range and opportunities for farmed game. Yeah, man, I reckon that'd be a bit of a winner too. A place where people can go out and, you know, big pieces of land even as well. But, you know, that costs a lot of money. Shit, I'd have to win Powerball probably twice.
Yeah, we'll both have to win it.
But then again, like I said, the greenies get antsy going, oh, you know, they're breeding game animals just to shoot them. It's like the end of the world to them, you know. Like I keep saying, it's one of my best things I think I've ever come up with. How many animals have the greens, the antis, the vegans, how many animals have they ever taken out of the ecosystem to help our current native wildlife? Zero.
Exactly. Wow.
You have shooters and hunters taken out of circulation on private and public land. Tens of millions at this point over the years, since as long as probably people have been on this earth, probably billions of animals have been taken off this earth that have, you know, affected our native wildlife, you know, that take away food from our native species. So again, they talk a big game, but when it comes down to it, they don't actually do anything productive. All they say is shooting is not productive and it's not the only option. Okay, I agree, it's not the only option, but it's certainly better than what they're doing, which is nothing.
Yep, exactly. And Man said 1080 does all the nasty work for them. Exactly. All these greenies love 1080, but you go watch the videos of the innocent animals eating 1080. It's just disgusting. I do not believe in poisoning the land and animals in any way or form with 1080. It gets into the waterways and it just destroys fish, destroys the ecosystem. But the greenies absolutely love it because it's not a gun. It's just an absolute fucked up way of thinking, if you ask me.
Yeah, like you'd think the Greens and all that be against stuff like that. Listen, I know sometimes it's tough. You know, farmers have got to deal with very, very difficult things sometimes, such as, you know, wild dogs and foxes. And, you know, it's an easy option for them to lay 1080 with baits to, you know, take out those foxes. So it is a bit of a shit. And, you know, by us, if we were to ban that, then we are putting our farmers into a bit of a hole. But, you know, again, because shooters can't be around all the time. Shooters have got jobs. You know, they can't be shooting on their land all the time. Whereas, you know, a bait, you can lay a bait and, you know, someone comes and takes it. I personally don't like it. I've done shows on 1080. I did a show with a lady from New Zealand. And it's pretty horrific stuff. You know, if you've seen someone's dog that's eaten 1080, man, it's just, people have put it on YouTube and Facebook, and man, it's horrible to see these things die in agony, man. It really is. It's real terrible. So I don't know what the options are. You know, surely there's got to be a fine line between banning it and, you know, but I think, you know, maybe indiscreetly farmers using it, not saying it's great, but it's better than just dumping it out of a chopper like they do in New Zealand, and then they accidentally dump it on someone's farm, or it comes out in a waterway and one of their local dogs eat it. One guy lost 8 dogs in New Zealand because of this chopper dropping friggin' 1080 bait. I mean, you know, again, certain locations from farmers doing it might not be that big of a deal, but dumping it out of a chopper indiscriminately, that's just terrible.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, you see, I saw one because people don't know, but I used to have a beautiful Rottweiler, and he died of cancer not long ago. I don't really pull that sort of stuff on my channel, but I watched one with this beautiful Rottweiler that ate a 1080, bit of 1080 on a farm, and they filmed the whole thing. They were waiting, for the vet to come, and it was just horrific. It was really saddening. It was absolutely horrible. So no, I don't support that at all. At least here in Queensland, I know about New South Wales. They got to draw up a map and they know exactly where it is and they can document where the 1080 is. It's not like in New Zealand where it's just sprayed around all willy nilly from a chopper. At least they don't do that here. But more super chats coming in. Yuck YouTube again has broken his promise for stop donating, which I'm actually glad about that. Only pistol I've ever shot is a 357 Magnum in New South Wales, and this is something that Jason and me have talked about. Do you guys want to see us do a live stream on pistols? Because both Jason and me shoot pistols. I got 10 pistols that I absolutely love. Would you guys be interested in that? Because every time we do a gadget or a scope thing, the scope live stream we did a few weeks ago was one of the lowest ratings ever. The week after, we had a bit of a controversial one, and it was one of the biggest ones. So we don't get it, guys. What do you want to see? We're happy to talk about anything each week. We got endless.
That's the whole point. They say no politics, and the politics get 3,000 to 5,000. You talk about gun scopes, and it gets 800. So you got to stick with the topics that rate, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. So we're happy to do one on pistols because I love pistols. I spent a lot of time, years shooting IPSC, and I actually love pistols. I'm actually going to hopefully get down tomorrow to the pistol range. But yeah, what do you want to say? What do you want to hear about? Do you want to hear about pistols? Would you guys watch it? Because we're all good to go for that. That's one topic we're going to talk about.
And Wild Horse says here, I want to see you both on TV. Presenter of 60 Minutes. What do you reckon? What would you want to see us on TV doing? Maybe a hunting show. You know, the differences between how Aaron hunts and I hunt, totally different. That's for sure.
Exactly. Me would have to go overseas because I need a full auto. That's pretty much it. But, I've got a couple of ideas for a TV show, but I don't think Channel 9 will pick it up or SBS. So yeah, it'd be great. I reckon we could do a great show. But unfortunately, wouldn't be in this country though.
And I've got another video coming out, busting some more rabbits. I reckon I've already edited it. It's going to be out on. I might put it out on the maybe before that, maybe Saturday, probably early New Year. I'm going to put it out. AHP Outdoors. So it's the final day shooting of that particular video. It's the last one I've got. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I just posted it up on Facebook just today, and someone got upset. If you've watched the video, guys, if you haven't watched my video, go to AHP Outdoors. It's my most recent video. Some guy got upset with me on the thing, and me and Aaron were talking about this. And he goes, "Oh, like because I thought it was I thought it was a rabbit, right? I mean, guys, a rabbit's this big, right? It's about how big, Aaron? Probably 8 inches across. And I thought it was facing me, so I ended up having a shot at it. Well, it turns out it was a rock. And he goes, "Oh, you've got to be able to identify targets and this sort of thing." And he's going off on my Facebook page. And I was like, dude, it's not as if I'm shooting a rabbit and I've mistook that for a human. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even in the same ballpark, man. Oh, you got to be able to 100% identify targets. I go, yeah, that's true. But I'm like, this rabbit is small. You can't mistake a rabbit for a human. It was a rock, dude. Like, I don't even know what the big deal was. He got very up in arms about it. I go, well, you better not want to watch my next video then, because there's a rabbit right next to a rock on one of our really primo shooting hills where it's got heaps of rabbits on it. And I mark the rabbit. The rabbit's here. The rock's here. And then he's like, yeah, ready to go. And I'm like, bang. The rock pretty much explodes in half. And he goes, oh, you hit a rock there. He goes, the rabbit was like in the exact frame. And I just thought it was cool. You know, but it seems that's in the new video that I haven't released yet. But yeah, he was getting pretty antsy about targets. And I go, it's not as if I mistook a rabbit or for a rock, or it was actually a human being. I mean, come on, dude, that's a pretty silly analogy to try and put those two together. But anyway, you can never make anyone happy. But if you've watched the videos and you enjoy that, come along for the ride, documentary style hunt for a bit of thing, and hopefully I'm going to be able to do a few more this year on maybe some goats, pigs, or deer. Going to try and do that, so we'll see how they come out. I think they'll be a bit more of a winner. We're going to try and call some more foxes in on the next trips as well. So add a bit of fox shooting and fox stands on there as well. We tried on the last trip, but we just couldn't get any. They just didn't want to come to the call. So hopefully we will, say March of this year, maybe early March, mid-March, we're going to go out again. And if we can get some foxes on camera, I reckon that'll be just freaking awesome. So I'm looking forward to doing that. So if you've checked it out, I hope you enjoyed those videos. I really enjoy making them. They do take a long time, but just love to look back and enjoy the hunt, man, and look back at what we did.
Exactly. Well, he's not going to like me because when I go out hunting, we talked about this as well. If I'm shooting at longer distances, because everything changes, the ammunition changes from hot to cold and all that sort of thing. I normally shoot at a rock at a distance that I know I'm going to try and take some game at a rock or see if I'm hitting anywhere near it. And I always use ballistic tips when I'm hunting, and it just disintegrates no matter what you hit. So I don't really see what a problem is if you do shoot at a rock. And remember, you're on private land. There's no one else around for miles and miles and miles. So
yeah, this was on private land. You've got to identify the target. It's no problem. I said it's like how can you mistake a rabbit like for a human? It's not even the same. It's on private property for a start. You know what I mean? It's not as if if I couldn't see that, I would be shooting like a deer if I didn't know that it was a deer on public land. I mean, you're talking about two different things, dude. It's like not even the same ballpark. But people are always going to whinge about something and not happy with a video, or well, hey, if you're bored, don't watch it. Like, I mean, it's not that hard, is it? If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it.
Yeah, exactly. It's I've had people complain about my videos, and I mean go into basically racist on it about me shooting at the torso targets and the gun reviews. In the middle, and where I film, there's no one around. It's for miles, and they're telling me I'm trying to simulate shooting at humans and all this sort of crap. It's like it's a piece of steel I brought that from a seller here in Australia, so it's legal, and they try to tell me it's illegal and all sort of crap. You can buy them, and trying to tell me, oh, you're just practicing to kill humans and all this sort of crap. These are fellow shooters. It's like, no, man, it's just a piece of steel that I brought because it's a bigger size and I can see it at a longer distance. That's it. And yeah, and they get all uppy about that.
Like, what does this guy think happened? Someone snuck in onto the property, onto the top of the hill where we were shooting, that we didn't see them, and lied down and hid behind a blade of grass and acted like a rabbit. I mean, that's just not possible, anyway. It's ridiculous. Like, A, would have seen the person. B, there's a big difference between a small rabbit and if it's a guy, most likely to be a guy, on the side of the hill, 85 kilo plus guy, come on, let's get real here, dudes. You know what I mean? But anyway, Trevor Hill said, Jace, are you happy with your Kestrel? I swear by mine. Yeah, I was. Yeah, no, I am. Sorry. I am. They're very good, mate. I don't think it's absolutely necessary, but it is good to have one item that does everything from wind to your calculations, your ballistic calculations, and so forth. So if anyone doesn't know what a Kestrel is, it's a little piece of equipment, and you set it up for your rifles, and you can shoot long range, and you got your rangefinder, then you put your details in, and it gives you the corrections to put onto your thing. It's not absolutely necessary, but it's definitely a good tool to have, and it's got a little wind meter on top, and it has all your atmospheric conditions, and they're not cheap. They're about $800-900 or so, maybe plus. But definitely worth it, and can last you a long time if you look after it and take care of it, and certainly can aid in your long range shooting ability. So yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing I was hoping you're going to bring up, and we can have a look at it, because we've always had this debate. I use the Sweatlock Pro app on my phone and my tablet, and you use the Kestrel, and something that's sort of a comparison video I wanted to make this year. But unfortunately, our Premier stuffed that for us. because I've never used a Kestrel. I'm really keen on giving it a go because I love tech, even though I don't know much about it. Couldn't even get my modem to work tonight, but it was.
It is a lot to get it started, like as in, and I experienced that when I was up with Aaron. Remember, I had the totally wrong twist rate. For the 260, I had it as 1 in 20, remember? I had it as 1 in 20, and a 260 is a 1 in 8 twist. So obviously I was severely, what would you say, overcorrecting, I'd say, because when I'm aiming in the middle, overcorrecting, because it was going right about, about 1.5 mil, 2 mil, maybe up to 3 mils actually, to the right. I couldn't figure it out. Sure, it's only a hunting bullet and everything, and I'm not saying it's the first time I've even done it. I'm not the best shooter in the world, obviously. And yeah, it was just going like 2-3 mils to the right. Like, what's going on? Then I figured out also too that I had it set up as a 1 in 20 twist. So the point is, garbage information in, garbage information out, where you chase your tail. Even on the last trip, man, I'm shooting some rabbits. And don't forget to set your turrets back to 0, your windage and your elevation. Every time you shoot, make a point of it. Set it back to 0. I was shooting high, and I'm going, fuck, what's going on, man? What's going on? I couldn't figure it out. Only then to go, oh, shit, I'm on like 3 mils or 2.5 mils elevation. And I had like a rabbit at like 120 meters going, why am I shooting high? How the freaking hell am I missing? So again, check your targets, check your thing. Make sure you zero your rifle at every hunt when you go away. Set up a quick target, lie on the ground with a rear bag. Make sure your rifle's 0. No point if it's been knocked off in transit and you're 2 mils out, or 4 inches out. 4 inches at 400 meters is 16. Was it 4 16? That's 16 inches out at maybe at 400. You know what I mean? If you're not on 0, you're going to have problems.
And if you do have it knocked out, there's got to be some problem, because I haven't shown Jason yet because I haven't seen him since it happened. But I dropped my hunting rifle with the Leupold 5HD. And it took a chunk out of it, and it was still totally zeroed, and I was totally blown away by it. So a good rifle shouldn't knock out a 0 with just transporting and that. If so, you got problems, and take it back. That's for sure.
Yeah. I'm just reading these comments. I think, Yuck Food Tube, our buddy, he's probably just got to, we love your super chats, dude, but you probably just got to calm it down just a little bit, mate, just a little bit.
Plenty of human ammo. Okay, we'll leave that one there. Thank you for the $30 super chat, but we'll leave that one there.
Yeah, let's just keep it within the law, guys. We're not, let's not get a bit silly. I know we're having a bit of a laugh and all that, but we've always got to obey the law and do the right thing, and be good representatives of the shooting sport. So that's not that sort of stuff, I
agree. And here's something from Kraken. Something about overkill. Okay, so when I go hunting, I take my 30-06 that I know between 0 and 315 meters. I put the crosshairs on it, don't adjust anything, and it's going to go down. The animal's going to go down, no matter what, dead center, wherever I point at it, because I shoot such a compressed load going 3,000 feet a second. So here's Kraken. Shot a bunny with a 375 H&H, which is a meaty round, an elephant gun, and must have been a magician because it disappeared. And I agree, because I shot a bunny with my 300 rum, and I just made a paddock meat pie. It was just a hole with meat in it. So there is. What do you think, guys? Is there such a thing as overkill? Because I take one gun out when I'm hunting, maybe a backup one in the back of the ute, and whenever you see something, you just shoot it. And so dead's dead. It doesn't matter what you shoot it with. I don't eat rabbit myself, so I don't care if it's it's just a smear up the mountainside.
It's funny, because even go back to me making some of those rabbit hunting videos, because I just haven't got the 243 on yet. Most of them I want to shoot because I've gone to the 87 grain VMAX, but I'm just having mixed results. I'm going to go to the range and spend the summer doing it. But anyway, I haven't got it squared away yet. So I've only had the 260, which has been sighted in. The rounds are good. It's basically ready to go. So that's the only reason I've been using the 260. Otherwise, it's sort of been my sort of long range, varminting gun. It does both, but it's a bit more expensive to shoot. And people are like, oh, it's overkill, or on YouTube, oh, expensive, you know. I'm like, what? Who cares? I can afford it. If I want to afford to shoot, you know, with a 260 or a 7mm Magnum, I mean, who cares? I mean, you were talking about Chuckin, who's a friend of mine in that, and Eric from Chuckin TV. He shoots some woodchucks in the USA. But sometimes he's using the 300 Winchester Magnum. He was using 7mm Remington Magnum to shoot woodchucks with like 162s or 165s or 180s. So, again, it doesn't really matter, man. It's whatever's going to do the job. Like, I'd love to be shooting them with the 243 if I had my load sorted out and I got off my ass and headed to the range. But you know what? That's what summer's for, and that's what I'm going to do this time. So, hopefully on the next video, not the one coming out in January, because obviously that's more 260 and Mark's 223. Hopefully we're going to have, you know, the 243 singing with the 87 grain VMAX. If it doesn't, I might have to switch bullets to, you know, I don't know. What else would there be, Aaron, for 243? I could probably head back to the 85 grain hollow point boat tails from Sierra, because I know they shoot, but they don't have the reaction. I mean, on the last trip, not the one I just went on, sorry, that would have been the trip in August. You saw some of those videos, man. That 260 with the 143 grain was just, I don't know. I have no idea what was happening on that trip, but it was just exploding rabbits. Again, if you go back and have a look at that video, I think it's about 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I uploaded the 2-part series. It was crazy, dude. Like, literally, like nothing left of them, throwing these rabbits 7, 8, 10 meters. It was just never seen anything like it. And I'm kind of hoping but on this trip, I didn't get any of that. There was no rabbits exploding or anything like that. It just must have been something in the air on that trip that was just exploding these bloody rabbits.
Yeah, no, you just turned into a bloodthirsty human being. I just can't understand it. You were never like this until you met me.
I guess I can blame you. Hopefully the 140 grain ELD matches will also be fairly explosive too, because, again, hopefully they should open up at longer distances. You know, maybe I was just lucky to hit bone or something. I'm not 100% sure. Man, you got to turn that phone on silent, dude. You're killing me.
It's not my phone.
It's not mine. Or something just was making. Yeah, it is. It's making noise. You haven't got it on silent.
Yeah. Okay. Hang on there. Sorry, guys. There we
anyway,
go.
What a Uber, guys. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's put up a couple more questions from these guys. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Here, I got a question. I just saw it before, and sorry, guys, I can't go back and look at it right now because won't be able to find it. But someone said, if money was no budget, this is a good question. If money was no budget, what would be a gun that you would buy? What would be your number one purchase? Would it be a shotgun, a rifle, a pistol? What would it be? Let us know. Money is no object. And on top of that, I'll add my piece on top of that. Any gun, doesn't matter what it is, any gun you can own anywhere in the world, semi-auto, fully auto, what would you own? I'm not even sure. What would you own, Aaron? What do you reckon?
Any gun, I would be in M4 suppressed. I miss suppressors and I miss AR-15s. I miss the AK. AK's a lot of fun as well. I miss all that. So I'd probably do an M4 and 223 suppressed only because it's cheaper to feed. And when things are full auto, yeah, money falls out of your wallet. So that'd be...
There's no such thing as overkill on pest animals, and they're not called pests for a reason. Now, some people get upset even when I'm shooting them. Oh, you're not eating them. And I said, but mate, I'm there to do a thing for the farmer. Yeah, I'm filming it. I enjoy that. It might be a little bit morbid for some people, but at the end of the day, people love watching, sort of medium, short, medium, and long range shooting on pest bunnies. I mean, I love it. I love shooting them, and I love filming it and making videos about it. Probably a bit morbid, but I don't know. I mean, the farmer's stoked at the amount of rabbits we're getting rid of. So, mate, if he's happy, I'm making videos and I'm happy. Win-win.
Exactly. And here we go, Nick. 300 WSM. Woodchuck, certainly can't complain about it. It is not a humane death. It is not being a humane death.
If there's one thing I'm going to do, man, for Christmas, if I buy you a gift, it's going to be upgrading your prescription glasses at Specsavers, dude.
Hey, half a bottle.
I think that every week.
I can't complain about it not being a humane death. Exactly. That's what I read. No, exactly. Just like the 300 rum. and it disintegrates them. There's nothing left. They don't know what's hit them. No, their ass goes through their face, and it's good night. It's done.
Well, it's the most humane way to kill them. I mean, definitely shooting them, and and pretty much rabbits, you can pretty much aim anywhere. Go to the bottom, and let's read out some of those comments on some of those people, what guns they'd buy. Scroll to the bottom if you want, see what people would buy, maybe pick a couple of those up.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, Jake Craig, an AA-12 unlimited Dragon's Breath. Yeah, you can actually buy Dragon's Breath here in Queensland. It's expensive. I've got to get me some. There is a place down the Gold Coast that sells it. But unfortunately, everything catches fire.
I was using one of those the other day, mate, but it was in Call of Duty.
Oh, your man baby. Your man baby game. Oh, dear.
Classic.
AA-12, yeah, nice choice. That would be a lot of fun. What do we got here? Trevor Hill, I want my Mini 14 back. Love that gun. Yep, everyone wants their guns back that John Howard stole. There we go. Christensen Arms, TFM, 338 Lapua. Christensen Arms make awesome rifles, my mate. He's got a couple in carbon fiber. Unbelievable. The MPRs, I think they are just unbelievable.
You're missing all the people, man. We've got heaps there, man. From Aussie Capitalist, STG44, Robert Spurdy, SR25, Colin Penfold, MP40, PAH41, Aussie Capitalist, AR10.
Yeah, I'm working on that one. Now, you said to go to the bottom. Okay, here we go.
My bad.
Matt, 50 BMG. That'll be nice. Expensive, but awesome. Serbo RN50. Now, that is a 50 cal that all of us could afford. A single shot, you unscrew the back, put the round in, screw it on, bang. A lot of recoil, because you watch Hot Shot Dustin. He has one, and he puts a pressure on it, and that opened his eyelid up. But, yeah, that'll be a good, cheap 50 cal. Custom 1911 and 9mm. How dare you? And 1911.
Good old tech support taking our call from the Telstra call center.
Should only be in 45, maybe 10mm, but 45. Overland 4x4, 50 cal BMG or an M1. Nice choice. That would be good. Mr. Trundle, double 416 Rigby, my Hollander in Holland. Oh, that'd pack a bit of a punch. That would hurt. Peter from the NSC, I want a pistol collection. Yeah, that'll be nice. I'd love more pistols, but man, I just wish we could shoot on private land. No, why can't I have a pistol that's going to go 100 meters, but I can have a rifle that go 2 kilometers? It just makes no sense to me. It's just pathetic.
Can
you read them out? I'll bring them up. You read them out.
Got the Jake Craig 408 Shaytac with 7x35 56mm. That's a 7-35 56mm Night Force first focal plane. Yeah.
Expensive round to shoot.
They're about, $4,500 now, aren't they? For the old 7-35x56 Night Force first focal plane. Luckily, I read that out because Aaron would have no idea what I was talking about with that one.
Yeah, well, no, Night Force first focal plane. You fucking idiot. And the Shaytac's about $20,000, and the rounds are thousands of dollars for about 100. So it'd be expensive round to shoot, that's for sure. AR-10. 308. What do you reckon? What would you go, Jace? 308 or 223 in an AR platform? Or a 6.5 Creedmoor?
No, I'd probably just go 223, probably for if anything's the limit, I'd probably have one of all of them. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably go, 223. It's just, mild recoil, cheaper to shoot, still good. Do the job, on small game, medium-sized game, goats, you can back of a four-wheel drive or a quad or something or a motorbike. Bloody hell, it'd do the job. And, if I had anything, I'd take all of them, man.
Guys, if you have never shot semi-autos, it costs a lot to feed. Especially if you're an ammo pig like me, you just flick through it like no tomorrow. So it does cost a lot to feed. So
I like the shotguns too. I'd probably get a couple of, maybe like a Remington 870. I did like what I had years ago. I had the Benelli. So the Benelli, like a Super Sport, that's more clay target shooting, or the Benelli M2. Oh, mate, beautiful. Benelli M2. You could shoot clays, upland game, foxes, ducks, you name it, you'd be able to shoot it. So do like the shotgun aspect too. And of course, I'd probably, again, if pistols, even though I don't have any pistols currently under my license at the moment, I'd love just to be able to shoot pistols on public land too. So public land, private land as well. Just shooting targets, plinking, general plinking. It'd be awesome. Even something like a Ruger 1022, just plinking. Or rabbit shooting, walking around, plinking in with a red dot sight. How awesome would that be? Little 22 semi-automatic rimfire. I reckon that'd be awesome.
I do a lot of 1022 shooting. And I actually I'll show you guys here. I've got to show you on Instagram on my phone. I was talking to Hootie today, our friend Hootie awesome shot. Here, he shot with his pistol, got a couple of billy coats with his 2 kids. Sent me these photos today. How awesome is that?
And I tell you what, his kids, even they look like mini Hooties.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. And he shot it with his Bruno 75, I think they're called, out hunting with his pistols in the land of the free. How awesome is that? Awesome little round that. Packs one hell of a punch. So if you haven't seen him, go to Hootie Hoo channel and have a look at his reviews and his not reviews, he does fun videos, and he does really well. And that pistol is unbelievable. Can shoot 10 mil, can shoot the Bruno 75, I think it's called, a few other rounds, 9 mil through it all. Unbelievable round pistol. So it was really good of him getting that. And Colin, MP40 or PSH 41. MP40 9 mil would be such an awesome gun to try from World War II. And
damn right it would be. Damn right.
SR25.
No budget. I'd buy everything. I wouldn't have a gun safe big enough to be able to carry it all. But I'd probably have money. I'd just have them in a bunker. That's how much money I'd have.
Yep. And you wouldn't be living here.
Yeah, well, that's right. If I had all types of money, I'd be out of here living in a country like America where I can buy whatever the friggin' hell I want. Yeah,
I'd be living in the southern states, Texas for me.
Yeah, and if you want, if you're that rich, you can just bloody buy a house here, there, get into a business so you can get a visa, spend a couple of months in Australia, maybe for the summer, and then head back to the US for the rest of the year. Or fuck it, just stay in America all out and have a good time.
Oh, yeah. I'd pack my entire family up and would be off to America, and that'll be it.
What would you do? Pack your blow-up doll?
Yeah, that's it. Take my parents over there. Live at least it's more reliable than the bloody Russian bride that you're talking about.
Oh, bullshit. What? Dave's lying about. What are you talking about, Russian bride?
Last week you talked about the Russian brides.
Who? Where did I mention a Russian bride?
Oh, we're talking about something and it came up Russian brides on the last week's show.
Oh, okay, yeah, classic. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we were. That's right. With I think who was it? RJ, I think was it RJ? Can't remember, but yeah, it was a good time.
We haven't seen our friend JR tonight. Haven't seen him on here.
Yeah, JR's probably a Thursday nighter. Unfortunately, we're still a lot of people coming in. DJ Coops, I haven't seen DJ Coops if I got that right before. Overland 4x4 Australia. Have we seen Overland before? I'm not sure, but welcome anyway.
And this
Steve we've got Wild Horse. Of course, we've got Bagar Operator. Buddy Chris Miller's couldn't come in tonight because he's out partying and having a good time for Christmas, which is what we should be doing. Aussie Capitalist, Conservative Sniper Hunter, Steve Balakas. Sorry if I've missed anyone. I'm just going back up. But yeah, give the video a like, guys. I'm going to jump onto the YouTube stream now. I want to see those thumbs up go up. We've still got those random 2 idiots that gave us a thumbs down that are here every single week that we just can't get rid of for some reason. So give us a thumbs up. 67. We've just hit 67. So give us a thumbs up, guys. For the video 72, there we go. We're cranking now. That's it. If you haven't hit thumbs up and you're watching the stream, hit the thumbs up, guys. That makes Google with their stupid bloody what would you call it? Yeah, it gives us a boost. And also, too, I've heard the more comments and thumbs up you do, if you actually comment on the video, not just in the live stream, that boosted as well. The more comments as well in the actual comments of the video makes a huge difference. Anyway, so up to 82 now. Oh, you bastards. Who was it? Someone just had 2 thumbs down. So it must have been one of our listeners that liked us. Now the 2 thumbs down are gone. You bastards.
And this is a sore point between Jason and me. DJ Goop said in America, you can buy guns with a green card in the US. Well, I won the green card lottery. I told Jason about it on air about a month ago, and he lost the plot. And yeah, we talked about it a bit.
I've been trying for 10 years, probably up until about 2 years ago. And he got selected. How long ago was it, you reckon?
About 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, you scumbag. You absolute scumbag.
I know, it just wasn't. I just moved to Australia. I had family coming over. Unfortunately, just things didn't line up for me, unfortunately.
Yeah, that happened, man.
And I'd been talking to my friend Stephanie, the Tetris huntress in Texas, and we're talking about doing a hog hunt over there. And apparently the COVID thing is really bad. It's going to look like it's going to be about 2022 before we can go over there for it's safe. So it's pretty much we're going to have to organise a trip to go hog hunting in Texas for my 50th birthday.
Even if we just do, you know what, like I don't know if everyone's going to be able to do it, but like a Vegas, 1 week Vegas holiday, maybe SHOT Show. Not everyone's going to be able to go to SHOT Show because it depends if you've got, you know, an ABN, provable ABN as a business. But even if we just go I'm not sure how long SHOT Show actually goes for, but probably 1 or 2 days would probably be, or 1 full day probably be sufficient anyway. Maybe 2 days, depending on how long it goes for. But you know, we'd probably go to some of those gun garage or those gun ranges and get those awesome packages and shoot 50 cows and shit. Waste like $500 for an afternoon and shoot some Tommy guns and all these pistols and, man, just have a bloody good time, man. Or I think one's called Battlefield Vegas. That's the one Mark went to. We'll go to Battlefield Vegas. You know, if you got the money, a shit ton of money, you could even drive a tank over a car and do some mortars and shit too. Drop some mortars down and, you know, do anything you want over there. So I reckon we should do that. If we get like 10 or 15 people, even if we just got 5 people, including us, I reckon it'd be just an awesome holiday. Really, really good holiday.
Yeah, lay in the comments who would be into that. It'll be be a good one. I've been to that. Even if we go to SHOT Show and then we meet up with everyone after SHOT Show the week after and have a wild time, because I know Hootie will come over and have some fun with us, and a few other people. Tal Flattermouse, he wants to meet us and make some videos as well. He's been talking about that. So a few big YouTubers will be interested in that because they absolutely love Australians. And a lot of them are actually really surprised that we own guns here in Australia. Happy 50th. I was meant to be 50th. You big child. Yes, I am. But the 50th comes not next year, the year after. I'm 49 in March next year.
How much is Yuck Food Tubes done super chats tonight? You must have done $200 already, man. What job do you do? You can hire me, man. I want to get the job that you're doing, dude.
Yeah, hire me. I want to get out of the construction trade. Jeez. Yeah.
Rather start working for Yuck Food Tube.
Hopefully it's a gun company. Here we go. Aussie capitalist. Hot woman, big trucks, and big guns. Man, definitely. American women are absolutely hot, and they're not full of shit and attitude like half these people here in Brisbane and the Gold Coast. Jesus, I was engaged. Here's a story. I was engaged to a Gold Coast woman. What a complete fucking nightmare that was.
What about Rose? Rose, speaking of women, Rose has got a good one. Let's talk about, here we go. Well, maybe we'll bring up some comments about this. To talk about the most exotic animal you've shot. Oh, exotic. I've never been Have I shot overseas? The only thing I've shot overseas, I went, it was a friend of mine, cousin David, not my cousin, but the cousin of my friend that I was over there. And I went to Waco, Texas, and I shot some doves, dove hunting. So I wouldn't say that's exotic, but it was certainly a good trip to remember. I think I did make a video of that. It is on my YouTube channel as well, AHP Outdoors. But I think I only hit about 3 birds. That was when I just started to get back into, these bloody drinks are getting up on me with the bloody, the fizziness. But I think I shot like probably 4 or 5 over like 2 days. So it was like just semi-automatic shotguns, bang, bang, you name it, we were doing it. So it was certainly a good time. What about you, Aaron? Exotic, you probably, most exotic thing you probably shot is that rabbit with that 300 rum.
Yeah, or in New Zealand, I used to go, okay, this will probably upset a few greenies.
Not the meat.
Yeah, the meat targets. Yeah, so we used to, every Friday or Thursday night, my parents owned 50-odd acres. So half of it was registered as a natural reserve. You can't touch the there's a rainforest part. Can't touch it for 100-odd years. So the wildlife was just rife in it. So they had a barn. So we'd sit in the barn, have a cup of coffee, and would do a lap around the whole property. So it'd take us about an hour or so. And we'll just take the 10-22s, AR-15s, and semi-automatic shotguns. We'll take turns holding the torches. And the possums were awesome. And so they'd just cling on to the branches, and you'd pop them off, and they'd just swing there like a meat target, just swinging away, and boom, pop it off, and but just the little 22 would just go straight through it. Then you shoot a leg off, and then it's still swinging by one leg, shoot the other one off. And that was our Friday nights in New Zealand in the freezing cold. And then we'd just walk another 5 meters. There's another swinging meat target in the tree. And then I came to Australia and wanted to go hunting. I said, let's go possum hunting or rabbit hunting. Well, you can't shoot possums over here. I was dumbfounded. I said, they're the biggest pest known to man. They're like the cockroaches of the trees. So
I think you can shoot the possums in Tasmania, just not the rest of Australia.
Yeah. Oh, well, well, they should be able to shoot them everywhere. They're awful. Because my mate's farm, they cleared 25 acres and planted forestry pine trees. So the possums will come. They're such a pest. What they do is scratch the bottom of the pine trees while they're saplings. Because we planted 4,500 small ones, and they would scratch the bottom and they'd die. So we'd just go and mow them down. I used to hunt on that property with an M1 Grand possums, and boy, that used to be a lot of fun. So that's one thing I really do miss.
Yeah, I know, man. I'd love to. That's the thing. New Zealand, man, even with New Zealand's bad gun laws as they are now, I mean, they never went as far as we did. So you could still, very good hunting opportunities in New Zealand. I've got a couple of guys that I follow on Instagram, and they're always shooting goats over there. Beautiful land, big hills, just amazing. I reckon. It's a good country, man. I don't know, we won't go about why you left there, because not that it was bad or anything, but you just wanted to move to Australia. So, but some really good hunting opportunities over in New Zealand. Ducks. You've got obviously lots of deer. You've got quite a lot of goats. Pigeons as well. I watch a bunch of guys on Facebook that decoy pigeons with duck decoys, like spinning wing duck decoys, and some of these ones over certain areas. What the hell? Some of these ones.
I just got a warning come up. How's that?
Yeah,
I just got a warning come up by StreamYard saying trouble connecting.
All right. The only thing I can think about is there a limit on how long you can do if you're on a free service? How long you can do per stream?
Yeah, it's about 4 hours.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I'd like to go to New Zealand one day, man, even though you're not a big fan of it these days. I'd love to go over there, do some hunts, maybe some, waterfowl, some pigeons, some deer, some goats. Really nice country, I reckon. From what I've heard, I haven't been there, but everyone reckons it's pretty awesome. I'd have to start getting my fitness up for those big bloody hills, definitely. Lose a bit of beef and stop sucking down these ciders. So,
Well, I agree 100%. Beautiful country in the South Island. That's not where I lived, but it's very expensive. But to me, honestly, if I can't shoot semi-autos or full autos ever again, I'm going to America. I'm spending my dollars over in America. I'm not going anywhere that I can't at least shoot an AR-15 because it's so expensive to travel. I'm just not going to do it. I'll go straight to America. We got first stop in Tennessee to see Adam from Hootie Hoo, who's going to take us out shooting. And then we'll work our way through the US. And now that would be a good TV show.
Jake Craig says Perry Dogs. Andy, or AKA Daniel Andrews on the stream, says Orectagulus caniculus. And I know that's rabbit, dude, because I've heard it before. Couldn't fool me, dude. What else we got here? Nicholas, possums with a 50 BMG. Mate, you must have a bit of money, $20 a bullet on a little pest animal. But hey, if it works, why not?
When Hootie was on here a few weeks ago, he said he's buying 50 cal for $2 a round.
Wow.
Yeah, unreal.
Yeah. Dynamite says possums are pests in New Zealand. Correct. Yep, they are, mate. You can shoot the possums. I don't think there's even any bag limit or any season on possums. They're a known pest animal, so you can just basically have at it. I've seen guys that have shot pot. Man, some of the photos you've seen, they've polished off a couple of hundred in one night. Some of these possums, there's that bloody many of them, so they just seem to breed like rabbits over here, which is pretty crazy.
Here we go, retro.
I've seen in NZ you can shoot magpies. Oh, okay, I didn't know there'd be magpies. You could shoot magpies, but I've shot a bunch of crows down on the Riverina because crows, galahs, and sulphur-crested cockatoos are completely legal game in the irrigation district of the Riverina. So, or anything west of the Great Dividing Range, actually. So, shot a few crows in my time. That's for sure down the Riverina. But they're very hard to shoot. Once you shoot one of them, they're I think the second smartest bird in the world. So once you shoot one, they tend not to come back. So
you actually make a cutout, like a timber cutout. Whoop, you're frozen up, Jace.
That's not me. I thought it was you. Go ahead.
You make a timber cutout of crows. You put it in the paddock where the crows are. You put it there, and you put chunks of meat around it, and the crows will always land where they feel comfortable. And so they got the cutout of the crow, the silhouette. They'll land there, and you start popping them off. But we don't shoot crows here in Queensland because it's a $20,000 fine per crow.
That's crazy, man. Down the Riverina, there's so many of them. That and galahs. I mean, as much as people hate to say it, there was a lot of grain on one of the paddocks one time where they were getting ready to sow the rice for the rice fields. And that, mate, dude, I've never ever seen this many galahs, even and crows, but mainly galahs on one trip. There must have been 3,000 to 4,000. And, mate, the farmer's going, mate, it's eating all this grain. You got to get rid of these bloody things. You know what I mean? So, mate, one afternoon we were just, mate, I think I even made a video on it for YouTube. Some people didn't like it, but, again, doing the work for what the farmer. You can't get down to the Riverina, staying on the guy's property. He's supplying ammo and all the house to stay in. And then you say, no, you're not going to do that. So, mate, you pretty much got to do it. I don't have a problem doing it. You're doing work favors, which is legal for the farmers. And, mate, we were just clean. We had one of those, I think it was one of the decoys even, because we were shooting ducks at the same time that year. And, mate, when we put the spinning wing decoys in, mate, Jesus Christ, man, these galahs were just coming from everywhere, just flocking into these decoys. And, yeah, we just goes, mate, clean them up as many as you can. Oh, mate, we had a good afternoon that day. I think on that trip, in 8 days, we shot around 1,200 shotgun shells in about 7 or 8 days.
Jeez, that's all right. Every time you tell me these stories about the Riverina, it's like, I'm coming next year. I'll drive 17 hours to come just to do what you do.
like I said, this year, like I said, mate, we I drove 10 hours and we hardly shot anything, man, this year. Luckily, we were able to get on some of the rice fields because water was cheap this year. So a lot of guys were, but there wasn't even many ducks around, man. So, and there's pretty much no rabbits. It was just like scorched earth. So it's been getting worse and worse over the last, say, 5 or 6 years. So, but anyway, what do you do, man? Just take what you can get. It's more of a holiday than really anything. So, here we go. I've got a question, man. Aussie Capitalist says, Aaron, what 9mm works well in a SIG P320? What 9mm works well?
Oh. Absolutely everything. I reload. I make batches of 10,000 at a time. So I just have, and honestly, it's been years since I've reloaded. But everything I throw through my P320 works really well. To me, pistols, short range stuff, as long as you're hitting this big at 10, 15 meters, you're good to go. Remember, pistols aren't meant to be like the 9mm. They're not target. They're not for long range. They are really self-defense sort of guns that we can't have here in Australia, of course. But I've never really had a problem with pistols at all, with any ammo in my P320. It's just fed everything. I've been so happy with it. And I've got to say, my 226, the tactical Navy SEALs gun I got, Jesus, that's never missed a beat. I'm trying to sound. Does anyone want to buy a Beretta 92FX Inox? It's the biggest piece of shit I've ever owned, but I'm selling it. I know I'm not a good salesman.
Good sales rep for that gun. Nice. Thank you. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're going to get so many people wanting to buy it.
Oh, man. The thing that, never buy a Beretta pistol. The biggest tubs of shit I've ever owned. I tell you now.
Wild Horse here too, an interesting one. He goes, not allowed to shoot wombats, but now they're starting to be a big problem here. Yeah, I agree. I hear that a lot from farmers too, man. The wombats are just starting to really, really get out of control, digging around. You've got horses, stock like lamb and cows falling into these big, huge warrens or whatever, or big holes that these wombats go into and start digging through. So, yeah, I agree. They're getting a bit out of control. But, shit, man, I'd be struggling to shoot a wombat. I don't know, man. They're a bit slow. It wouldn't be really sporting, really, would it? But there's the question. If wombats were legal to shoot, to help farmers out, would you shoot wombats? Again, it's all about pest control. Would you do it? Would that be something you'd be interested in if you had to put, obviously you wouldn't be getting many on a lot of farms, but sometimes I saw one farm back probably 3-4 years ago, man. There were that many wombats, man. We almost hit them in vehicles. They take out your suspension. They take out your wheels and your CV joints and all that. They really do some damage, man, to your suspension and under your car. They're just like little tanks. Would you shoot one? Would you pop off a wombat, Aaron?
In a heartbeat. If it moves, it dies. Simple.
Shit, there you go.
If it's legal, I don't shoot it. It's got to be legal, though. Definitely got to be legal. And here's Jake Craig. Okay, a bit of a lighter note. Guys, what are your thoughts on that shot, the giraffe, on the guy that shot the giraffe, scoped himself doing so? If you have seen the video? I haven't seen the video, but scoped himself. Must have been something pretty big. Obviously, he'd be in Africa somewhere. It's legal to shoot giraffes. I got no problem with shooting the giraffe at all. But how many guys? That's all I know. How many guys out there have scoped themselves? I came close shooting the Sauer 404 in the video, in the review I did, and in the 375 H&H. And it just touched my eyebrow. That's the closest I've ever come to being scoped.
Guess it depends, eh? If you've got a scope with a shitty eye relief and a big caliber, chances are you're going to get hit in the face. So get a good scope with a good eye relief on those guns. Yeah,
I've always wondered. Like, the big guns, they really are big game rifles. You're not shooting big game at long distances. I wonder how a good red dot would work on it.
Good question. Hey Jake, if you've got it, send us a message. Flick it to us on, preferably on the AHP Australian Hunting Podcast Facebook page. Just flick us a message there. better than Instagram, because that'll come to my phone. I might be able to play it here on the computer while I'm talking to you guys, and just mute it and have a look at it. So yeah, send us a link if you can, man, if you've got access to it straight away.
Also, I want to know, what are you guys going to buy in the new year? Or what's Santa going to give you for Christmas? What gun presents are you getting? You're getting ammo, you're getting scopes, you're getting magazines, getting a whole new gun. It's a bit of a disappointment. I always think about this sort of year. You can't sort of get your spouse can't buy you something if they don't have a gun license, because everything's got to go on your license. So the surprise is sort of spoiled, isn't it? So yeah, what's in line for Christmas for you?
Here we go. Retro says, Shooting Stuff Australia. Hi there, mate. Would you please shoot the possum in my garage that keeps pissing on my car? No, mate, you need to, it better be illegal, so you need to call in your local pest expert. That'll be able to remove that little pesky possum on your behalf. We can't shoot possums in garages, man, so much as we'd like to be pissing on our car, we're just not allowed to do that, mate, so nothing more we can do about it. You got to call your local possum pest expert.
And so the taxpayers will pay thousands of dollars, and every possum you can see, there's 5 of them hiding in the bushes waiting to take its place. An absolute joke. I can't believe we can't shoot possums over here. The dumbest thing ever. You know, you go to New Zealand, you can buy possum coats, possum Ugg boots, the whole 9 yards. They're just disgusting, filthy, dirty little meat targets. That's all they are.
Yeah, Matt Cato said he wants to shoot a big red deer in New Zealand. Yeah, man, I reckon that'd be, if you've seen some of those deer, they are absolutely huge, man. And yeah, I'd like to get one too one day, man. Definitely.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to shoot a black bear or a big grizzly. But
yeah, one too. Even though, what have you shot? What would be your number one game species? I reckon. What would be the one you'd want to shoot? Preferably. Yeah, it can be in Australia if you like, but what about going overseas? What would you actually want to shoot overseas? What would be your big game, or even small game, or anything? For me, I know it's probably going to sound probably stupid to some people, and I really want to do it because if you're talking about high volume, go watch the videos. Aaron will probably laugh at this, but go watch the videos on dove hunting in Argentina, right? Now, those roosts in Argentina, because I think they actually grow not poppy seed, what's it called? Sunflower, right? And some of these roosts of these pigeons are in the millions. And if you watch some of these videos, dude, you can't get the semi-auto shotgun loaded quick enough to shoot these pigeons, these doves in Argentina. And I know guys that have gone there and they said, dude, go there for like 5 days. You basically hunt morning and you hunt the afternoon. And if you in essence, you're shooting a 20 gauge semi-auto most of the time. You can shoot 12s, but I think most of them are 20 gauge. You've got a bird boy that actually comes with you. So you just hold the gun up and he feeds the shells in there. Sometimes I've even got a second gun. So you shoot, you give him the gun, he gives you the other one, and you just keep shooting, and he just keeps giving you the gun, man. Or you hold it up like that, and he's I don't know how his fingers don't have arthritis, but he goes, boop, 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 boop. They're that quick at feeding the shells in. You go like that, and bang, bang, hold it up, and he feeds it, bang, bang. And you're just basically shooting pigeons like you wouldn't believe. It cost me about $6-7 grand, they reckon. Plus, your shells, you can shoot anywhere from 6,000 to 10,000 rounds in 5 days.
Sweet. But isn't Argentina a communist shithole?
Mate, if I can go, and they, you know what, they go over there, that includes they pick you up from the airport, they go there, you get awesome barbecued meats and salads and all that stuff for lunch and dinner. That pays for your bird boy. Obviously, you tip your bird boy at the end. Stupid calling him a bird boy, hey, but that's what they call him. You know what I mean? So you pay him normally $120 or $150, like that's for his service, for, and then obviously you got to pay for your extra shells. Normally and you can shoot as many as you want if you just keep shooting. As long as you're willing to pay for the shells, you just keep shooting, mate. It literally, if you're not coming off that trip with a massively sore, bruised shoulder, then something is completely wrong, dude.
Probably one of the only times I'd say 20 gauge would be good to shoot if you're shooting that much.
Dude, it's like you would. The guys have said you have to do it. That's if you like your bird shooting, which mate, I love that. I wish we had more bird shooting in Australia. Like, I love going down the Riverina just to that once a year. I wish I could do it more to shoot the ducks and that, but unfortunately, you know, just I can't travel that far all the time. Got to work. But yeah, what would you guys want to shoot? That'd be my number one hunt, I reckon. Definitely to go over and shoot dove hunting in Argentina, in Cordoba, Argentina, or at least roughly that sort of area of Argentina. What about you? What would you do? Then we'll get into some of the what people would go over there and shoot in the comments.
Yeah, definitely have to be a grizzly, a full-size grizzly, or a black bear, or I don't know if it's legal up. I've always I came from a cold area, like always cold, wet, miserable. But lately, I'm thinking I'd like to go hunting in the snow. I'd love to get me a polar bear if I was allowed. A big polar bear. You know, polar bears are one of the only animals on this planet that distinctively go and stalk and will hunt human beings. Will go, I don't want to eat anything else. I want to eat a human. And polar bears are the only animals on this planet that will actually hunt out humans for dinner.
Holy crap! Yeah, I don't know if I want to go up against a polar bear, but
as Jason, we talk about all the time. Jason, you're saying the other day it's 20 degrees down where you live, and it's 40 with 80% humidity where I live, and I just can't stand the cold. But if I'm going to go cold, I want to go to the snow. I've always wanted to go hunting, or always want to do just for the I don't know, just the romantic sort of thing of it. I want to go long range shooting, sniping at targets in the snow, just for the sake of it.
Yeah, like Die Hard 2, man, at the airport.
Yeah, or Sniper with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, Cliff Lee here says he used to shoot, which I did too, actually. That was many years ago now. I used to shoot the fruit bats on the orchards, good clay Pragatactus. Yeah, mate, absolutely. I've got a video that I did. Well, this was all legal. I had permits through the farm owner from National Parks and Wildlife to shoot on an orchard too. Dude, there's nothing like it. The only issue with that is you've got to have a second person there because normally they come in directly on dark. You get one flyer over the top first, which is apparently the spotter, quote unquote. And then literally 3 to 4 minutes after that, 5 minutes, they are all coming, mate. And you'd have one guy on a spotlight just outside the car. You'd park in the orchard, and then in the moonlight, you could still see because sometimes I can see them around my house too. You probably see them, they're flying around, and you hear them going, tweet, tweet. You hear them, oh shit, there's a bat, and as soon as you get them up in the moon or whatever, your mate will just light them up with the spotlight, bang, bang, and you just take them down. But you had to use steel shot. There was a certain restrictions. I think it was number 4 shot you had to use, if I recall correctly at the time. But man, that was some good fun, dude. Oh man, shooting those bats, man, the fruit bats on the crops, man. Awesome fun and great target. I remember when I first started shooting, my mate was there. I was missing a few, and he goes, fuck, I thought you said you were good. But then by the next night, man, I was laying them out at 45, 50 meters. And he goes, holy shit, man, you're whacking them hard. Oh, man, it was the best. I agree, Cliff. Awesome, dude. Awesome.
I've heard that as well from you, Jason. I thought you were good. And then last Christmas, about the 1,000-meter contest we had, you weren't so good, were you?
I said, hey, give me a chance, man. I mean, I've never shot long range before. What do you think this is? You know what I mean?
You people here, I spent the entire year listening to Jason telling me how he's going to kick my ass. And when crunch time came, that wasn't so. You can actually find the video, 260 versus, what was I shooting? I can't even remember. The 6.5 Creedmoor.
Let's go. Yeah, the 6.5 Creedmoor.
Good day. We had a lot of fun that day. And it was always good to see a new shooter hitting targets at long range. Now, people go, I don't like, a lot of people I've shot with, I don't like shooting. I don't like, I just like hunting and plinking away at targets. Then I take them out to it and I get them on 1,000 meters. And you see their eyes and their face light up. It's like they're blown away by rigging steel at 1 kilometer. It's always good to see. It is a big buzz, and it never gets old. Never, ever gets old.
Sorry, mate. I'm just watching. I just made sure it was on mute. Jake just sent me that one where he gets scoped in the face, so I'm just watching it now.
All right, sweet. And excuse me. So we've got a few more questions here.
One sec, man. These giraffes, man. Wow, they man. I'm just watching it. Oh man, headshot. Wow, what a shot, man. Gee, that's a big animal, dude. But even if that's the same guy that just shot it, like I could just tell straight away that, mate, his head was that close to the scope. No wonder why he just got hit in the head.
Can you email it to me and I'll bring it up on the screen so everyone can watch it?
You can't. It's a bit longer. It's a 15-minute video. So, I mean, I don't know if you can. I don't know. I'm just trying to see exactly what's, because it looks like a couple of guys have shot the giraffe as well. There's a couple of guys shooting the giraffe. So I'm just. Is that him?
We'll do it during the week. I'll chop it down and we'll play it next week on the
there it is. Yeah, 10 minutes
special.
Oh, shit. It hit him in the face. Yeah. You only see it from behind.
Here's Nick. Nick would, I think, either the Alaskan mountain sheep or elk in the US. Yeah, an elk would be awesome. Alaskan mountain sheep, I don't know much about them, but it definitely does sound cold and you're shooting in the snow. But an elk would be awesome. My mate's friend over in Utah has the biggest kill for an elk in the US history. And the Bass Pro Shop in Utah actually brought the skin off him and mounted it, paid him $20,000 US for it, and then got a replica made and gave him the replica. And it sits in the front foyer of the Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah, right. It's mate, there's some good game to hunt overseas. If only we could afford to hunt all types of game, you know, like go everywhere across the again. We're just going to win that lottery, that Powerball. Once we can do that, but
we're going to get a TV station to pick us up.
Exactly. Wild Horse says he likes just hunting sambar. Nothing wrong with that, dude. Man, Australia's certainly got some great game to hunt, and we've got some really good species of deer in Australia, man. You know, Jake Craig says he always wanted the taxidermy and Arctic fox. Yeah, they're pretty thick, man. Got a good, nice coat on them. I've seen some of those photos.
Here's Robert. Wild Horse, man. Sounds like you are the perfect spot. Oh, okay. Sorry, I misread that. I thought he wanted to shoot a wild horse. Nothing wrong with shooting wild horses in here, unless you're on the WSAA program and you're not meant to.
But hey, that's weird. What about that, man? That just went completely silent. We've heard nothing. It's off the. I reckon something's going on with that for sure, eh?
Okay, how many questions have we had about David Elliott? Who remembers that? It was 6 months ago this crap happened. 6 months or more. That David Elliott, the I don't know your detail. Police minister at the time, shooting a full auto, and he wasn't meant to. Up to 14 years imprisonment for people like you and me, normal, decent people. Gone, buried, finished. We can't get. Jason's been chasing answers in New South Wales through the Freedom of Information Act. Just dead end after dead end after dead end. What a complete, absolute fucking joke that is. God, I just can't believe it.
Politicians again, dude, they get away with whatever they want to get away with, man. It's only plebs like me and you are the ones that get charged. Like those footy players, remember? They were charged like within 48 hours. What was it? I can't remember their names even just offhand right now, but Josh Adokar and Latrell Mitchell, that's who it was. Yeah, crazy. What happened, dude?
On their mate's property. Doing no harm. Doing nothing wrong, really. We're being idiots. They're just having some fun with some guns. It's unbelievable.
Aussie Capitalist said he wants to hunt Siberia. I mean, I reckon that'd be pretty cool, eh?
And cold.
Yeah, I'm going to look at where's Siberia these days. I mean, again, I'm not know where everything is. Siberia.
It's the top of Russia.
Russia. Good old Russia. Wow, it looks all right.
Oh.
Serbia is a vast Russian province encompassing most of northern Asia. Wow, okay, with the terrain spanning tundra.
And the Serbian gulag up there.
Let's have a look at Siberia.
You look at the prisons up there; it's pretty amazing. Well,
Yeah, it looks pretty cold, man, by the look of it.
Amazing if you're not in it. Yes, the
Nice mountains, man. It's nice. Wow.
it's one step away from the North Pole, basically.
Yeah, man, it looks nice in summertime. Wintertime, maybe not so good if you don't like that.
The Siberian dogs they use in the prisons are unbelievable.
Yeah.
They are unreal. They're like the size of mountain bears.
Yeah, I'm just watching this finish. I'm watching this guy that got scoped in the head. It's not, mate, just it bled a lot, man. It's all over his shirt and
He'd always bleed more. Trust me, I've had my head split open many a times in
yeah,
pubs.
I think you see him filming it when he shoots it. Oh, right in the. It wasn't the greatest shot, but they got it on slow motion. But it hit it right in the neck. Let me just have a look. Yeah, right behind the ear. It must just been a good spine shot, but geez, it dropped hard. Wow. Wow. Good video.
BHY, I've never seen you here before. Welcome to the live stream. Excuse me. Copped a monobrow from a 22 subs. No good. Please elaborate. I actually do want to know the story. How do you scope yourself with a 22 sub?
Hey, what about the tech support? Our buddy from the Indian tech support team's back again. What about Mauser M18? Are they good? I heard they're pretty good for the money. I know a couple of guys that shoot 6.5 Creedmoors. Reckon they're pretty good.
Well, I actually did the review on it. You can go find the review. Mate, I tell you now, for $800 for a rifle, dude, I know you're not going to like this, but I compare it to the quality and the precision of a Tikka T3. And it's $1,000 cheaper. And what I like about it, the butt stock, you can pull the end off, like it just pinch it and it comes off, and there's a storage compartment for your cleaning gear. I tell you what, you can go look at the video, the review, and everyone knows I don't do bullshit reviews. I don't lie about anything. And I was amazed by how good it was. It really, what for that price? Yep, it's in between Hauer and Sour. That's what I put it in between. It's in between those two. And the fit and finish, the quality, the accuracy, unbelievable, dude. It really was. For like $800 Australian. I know they're about $400 in the US because Hootie was looking at one and we're talking about it the other day.
What about? Are they based on any action, or are you going to buy?
It's the Mauser action, the same sort of action as what Sour used, and Sour make the action for Rigby, which is unbelievable because I did those Rigby reviews, Marty and me, years and years ago. One of the only people directly reviewed the Rigby, like $20,000, $30,000 guns. We reviewed those, and at the time it said on the site made in Germany, even though Rigby's an English company. They buy the set, and I looked up online and did a bit of research. Sour provide Rigby with the actions.
Yeah, right.
Sour and it's all based on a Mauser action. And Sour and Rigby are pretty much the same company.
What can you use from the stocks and all that? Can you change the stocks, or is it pretty much no? There's not many aftermarket parts in that for them.
Not too many aftermarket parts for them, but geez, I tell you, yeah, when you see them, you don't really need the aftermarket stuff. They just work. They just work.
Hey, Lone Wolf says you guys must be busting for the toilet. Not yet, mate. I'm on my third can, but yeah, I've got the bladder like a bloody fish, mate. Just normally I'd be to the toilet 2 or 3 times by this stage, but I don't seem too bad at the moment. It's not too bad.
Man, I'm good. I'll just piss out the window right here. I live on acreage, so yeah, the whole outside is my toilet.
I'm just scrolling down. You got any good ones there to bring up? Let's bring up some people's text on the screen. Austin Capitalist said, Sorry, I just lost it. Shit, this is what happens when you scroll down too much. It just bloody goes down.
Oh, it is.
Aussie
We always apologise about this. We got so many questions. It's hard to keep up with everything.
Yeah. Alaska would be a beauty. Shooting in Alaska, yeah, I reckon that'd be good. One of my school friends, she got married, just had a baby. She's a bit older now, but she had a previous husband, but she got married again, and she moved to Alaska as well. I've just been following her on Facebook, and she's already into the, she's pretty pro shooting in that. She doesn't mind, so she's already talking about getting a concealed carry permit, because I think her husband's American but was working over in Australia, so they've gone back to Alaska, and she's always like, mate, you're more than welcome to come over here. Her husband Ronnie said, mate, get over here, we'll hunt some elk. And I'm like, hell yeah. So that's going to be a plan for mine eventually as well when I get back to the States. Maybe go hunt something up in Alaska. I reckon that'd be pretty cool.
Yes. Well, there's our foot in to go hunting in the snow, dude. So yeah.
What's this one? Hang on. Andy 777, Daniel Andrews. He goes, I've always wanted to go on a safari hunt. I asked at Werribee, but they said no. Is that like Werribee, Victoria? Or
the closest safari hunt we're going to get here is the Northern Territory, going for buffalo. Here's one sort of a two-part question for both of us. Shooting South Australia. Just got through the process of getting my gun license. I'm really interested in Tika T3X Super Varmint. The guns in 243. Jason's got one of those. I was wondering what it would be like for Samba. Well, it's not so much the gun, it's the caliber, and I think 243 would be fine for them. As for the gun...
Hang on, we're all wrong here. Firstly, 243 Samba are big animals, so obviously I'm guessing most likely you're in Victoria. You can't shoot red deer in Samba and anything under 270. That's law in Victoria. Whereas if you're in New South Wales, minimum 243 is only a recommendation. So if you are in Victoria, you must shoot Samba and reds with a minimum of a 7mm cartridge. So just to let you know. So if you are in Victoria, I don't know if you are retro, but let us know. You can't shoot. You can't shoot. And I wouldn't be shooting Samba, man, with a 243. No, not at all. Way too, I mean, okay, with a perfect headshot or something, or a spine shot, I mean, it's possible, but you can't anyway in Victoria. And if you were in southern New South Wales and you saw Samba, I mean, I wouldn't be doing that. I'd be shooting a minimum 6.5 if you're in New South Wales or somewhere else where you can get them. I presume you're in, must be New South Wales or Victoria. So yeah, but I wouldn't be shooting. I'd be shooting a minimum 6.5, but I reckon that's probably even a bit too small, man. I'd be shooting them. Small ones, okay, but if you get a big fucking Samba, man, I wouldn't be shooting at anything less than a 7mm. Definitely.
Fair enough. I stand corrected.
Yeah, then Chris also said 243 are illegal to shoot Samba. Exactly, if you're in Victoria. I think that you can shoot minimum 243 on fallow in Victoria, but only fallow is the minimum 243. So yeah, fallow, sure, but again, you could be in Victoria and you could come up with a bunch of different animals at any one time: pig, Samba, fallow. I mean, maybe reds down there somewhere. I'm not sure where, but again, it's possible. So get a 7mm or less, man. 7mm 08, 7mm Magnum, 308, 3006, 300 Rum, 300 Winchester Magnums, 300 WSM, whatever you want.
So there's two things to take away from this. Forget about the Tika T3X. Save yourself some money, like Jason we just said, and go for the M18 or a sour. Please, may I finish? And go get a 3006. Which is a good all-round hunting caliber. And don't pay too much for the Tika T3X. I know Jason hates me for saying this, but I really do believe, my opinion, I really do believe they are the most overpriced guns in Australia for what you get. You go a Mauser for $1,000 cheaper, and it's the same quality and same accuracy, and sour one step above it. You can't fault them. I really can't. I've been shooting sours for ages.
Remember, I always say, get what you want. I never said they were bad because I've got four Tigers myself, man. So I'm not going to put shit on them, you know what I mean? So, yeah, but I mean, there are great guns out there. Buy what you want. Don't listen to me. Definitely don't listen to Aaron.
Just listen to me.
Buy what you want to buy. If you want to buy something, mate, you got the money. Because I'll tell you what, one thing I tell people is when, I've been talked out of a purchase, or talked into something else, I've never been happy, man. I've always regretted it. So get what you want, and you're gonna. And that way, if you make the mistake, you can say, "Well, that didn't work," and then fix it for the future. But again, even probably what Aaron thought 10, 15 years ago of what would work for us on a hunting rifle or scope, magnification, those sort of things, it's definitely not what I would do today. That's for sure. Way over scoping some of my guns. Especially the hunting style rifles and stuff like that. Like, you just don't need to. You got to work to the country and the terrain that you're in. It just depends. Like, I remember I've told people this story. I had a deer rifle, 7mm 08. That was a good rifle. Nothing wrong with that. But I was running a 6.5 to 24 Bushnell on that thing. It wasn't. I was shooting state forest at the time. So why would I want it? I'm going to shoot 100 meters, not shooting the ass tits off something at 600 meters, and I wouldn't have even been experienced to even do that at the time anyway. So,
yes, I agree. I do agree with you in some ways. You get what you want. Go field the guns, research for yourself. Do not ever, okay, I'm shooting myself in the foot. Do not believe anything that review channels say. And I do reviews, but look at multiple reviews and come to the middle ground and think for yourself. Jason's been talking about this all the time about review channels. You can't trust them, and he's right. But I can honestly say, and Jason will back me up, he says it several times, I don't bullshit you guys. What I find on the day is what I find on the day, and I research the guns before I review them. So I do try my best to bring you an honest review, where other guys here in Australia will just basically just feed you whoever's nice to them. And
also, let me say one thing too. I got to correct this, man. I'm sorry, because I want to get it in quick, because what's not 7mm? Is that 7mm? Is that come to 270? Sorry, is the minimum in Victoria for Sambar. So just letting you guys know that. Sorry if I was wrong on that, but 270 or minimum is the minimum for Sambar and red deer in Victoria. So hey, you can still get a 7mm anyway. That works too. So I was kind of right, but I'm just making sure I got to give you guys the right information. It's 270 is minimum in Victoria, whereas New South Wales is 243 is just a minimum for deer, is just a recommendation. But again, you'd rather have a heavier gun, not heavier gun, but heavier bullet, enough gun to do the job than having less gun, I reckon. But again, shoot what you've got. But again, don't go in severely undergun, because if you do, you're just going to wound animals. It's not going to be good, man, for you. It's not going to be good for them, especially if you miss the trophy of a lifetime. When you do get that one opportunity, you don't want to blow it.
Exactly. As the famous words of the Donut Channel, more power, baby. Bigger the better. Knock them out.
I'm going to watch that giraffe one, man. It's actually a 50 BMG shooting, so it's 50 BMG versus the giraffe. Man, it hits hard. They had a really good slow-mo too of like zoomed in for the video. It looks pretty cool, so can't wait to watch that. But unfortunately, see, this is the problem when you go shoot. I've always said the bigger the animal, the angrier people get. It's got 13,000 likes and 21,000 thumbs down.
Jeez.
On the Keith Warren hunting channel, 468,000 subscribers, 13 thumbs up, 13,000, 21K thumbs down. So again, I always said to people don't care about vermin and rats and rabbits and pigs and so forth. But you shoot a giraffe, man, it's like the end of the world to these people.
But over where you shoot them, this is normal stuff. This is everyday sort of hunting. So I don't know why people lose their minds. It's a different country, different culture, and different laws. It's what they do. Who are we to bitch to them about what they do? It's not our country. We don't know that you can't. They can do this stuff. It's legal. So
yeah. Some people are saying the 270 minimum for Sambar. Jake Craig, 204 Ruger on the Meerkats. Don't know where you're from, Jake. I mean, meerkats, we don't have them here, but I don't think we do we? Maybe the zoo, but you can't shoot them at the zoo, obviously. Stevie Dean says 30 cows for Samba. Wild Horse says 30 cow recommended too. Or at least recommended anyway, not what minimum you have to shoot, but definitely recommended. Go big for Samba. Steve Balakas says 150 grain for 3006 SSTs. I think, excuse me, Aaron loves the 150 grain SST. Is that right, Aaron? Or
150 SSTs with a compressed load, and my 3006 traveling just a fraction under 3,000 feet a second. Jesus, that they put the hurt on everything.
Sorry?
I
was going to get you go first. Were you going to finish up your point there?
Oh, dead. I'm sorry, but when it comes to hunting, try and get, as Jason and me talked about this so many times, hunting is between 0 and 300 meters here in Australia. Very rarely you'll shoot further out because of the brush and the bush and obstacles in the way. So
it depends what part of the country you're from too, man. You know what I mean? It depends. You could be in open country if you're going to hunt publicly, and you might only see 50 or 60 meters. Some of the places I go to, man, you can't see 20 meters in front of you anyway. So again, use the tool. Like I got the 7mm Magnum now, 162 grain ELDXs. So I'm keen to see how they work. But I mean, again, we don't really have big animals over here like some of these African species. Like zebras or big springboks, or these big, springboks probably aren't that big actually, but some of these big animals they've got over there, koodoos and all that type of stuff. We don't have that sort of big. We got buffalo and stuff, but we got buffalo. Is it Cape buffalo? But how many times people get up there to hunt those? Really, I mean, most of our bread and butter species are rabbits, pigs, foxes, or our deer species. That's really about it, really, isn't it? I mean, obviously hares, but, again, deer is probably Sambas and reds are probably bigger species other than, obviously, you go out west, you've got, donkeys. What else we got out there?
Camels. I want to go camel shooting. That's one thing I want to get is a camel.
Yeah. What do you reckon you'd shoot them with a camel? There we go. That's a great question. If you're going camel shooting, what would be the caliber you'd use to shoot camels with? Because I know guys in the outback that do it all the time. I reckon the biltong or the jerky, I was going to say beef jerky, but it's not a big camel jerky, is just beautiful. And then I remember going to the SSAA Shot Expo, and Jason Spencer from Hunt Catch Cook was there. I was doing a bit of work with him on the live cooking segment, and he had a bunch of horse jerky. Mate, it was fantastic. I couldn't tell the difference. It's beautiful, flavoured horse jerky. That was delicious.
Yeah, sweet. And you're going to upset a few people there in the horse community, but couldn't agree more.
Wild horses, man. These are wild. These aren't, like some guy's pet or some illegal. It's fully legal,
I was engaged to a horse chick who was a complete psychopath who even mentioned hunting a horse. Oh, Jesus. That was no sex for a month sort of
Listen,
shit.
dude, I gotta say one thing. My mate just unfortunately had a breakup probably a couple of months ago with a horse chick. It's a friend of a friend of mine. And I was saying, there's two things. One thing you never, ever, ever do. You never date or marry a horse person, dude. Ever. All right, it's the worst. The horses will always come first. And he goes, mate, I agree with you. And he put all this money into, the business and adjustment and feed and saddles. And, mate, he walked away with not a red cent. Man, how much you put in? He goes, probably about 150 grand. Walked away with nothing. And she still got the business because the business wasn't doing well. And he goes, I think I was just a basically cash cow to keep the business going, and now she's got more investors. And I thought, this was obviously a relationship. They were living together, obviously, so never date a horse person.
I couldn't agree more. Horse chicks are nutcases. Absolutely nut jobs. And I will not, my experience, I lost my entire, guys, you don't know this, I lost my entire life savings to a horse chick, because she was a horrible, manipulative piece of human garbage. I did everything for her.
Like an absolute catch.
Oh, yeah, great. Yeah, Yeah. Look, trust me, looks aren't everything. Nah, horse chicks. I'll never touch another horse chick ever again in my entire life. Nothing but trouble. Yep, and nah. So that's
I remember, let me say one thing too. I remember, here we go, Retro that asked the question about the 243. And he goes, I guess that's a super varmint taker. He goes, I was quoted $2,090 for the 243. I just can't believe how much guns have gone up, man. I mean, I know I bought those ones a couple of years ago, but and I got them at pretty good deals, but that was $1,650 to $1,680. I even think was the 243 I got first. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. And I got that. That's the Tika T3, not the T3X. That was when they started to bring in the T that still had a bunch left over a couple of years later. I got that for like $1,350, $1,250. So shit, man, guns have really gone up in price over the last little bit of time, haven't they? I mean, now $2,100 for the super or the varmint. Mine was just the varmint, not the super varmint. But yeah, I mean, that's $300-$400 now, more than they were a couple of years ago.
Yep, exactly. One thing, okay, change the subject a little bit. I was so looking forward to you bringing up your Bagara.
You think people should stay out of New South Wales. Therefore, you are a supporter of Anastasia Palaszczuk. You would vote for Anastasia Palaszczuk. You're a big supporter. You love her.
I don't vote for anyone, but I don't vote for your New South Wales disease coming up here. And I was so looking forward to shooting a Bagara because I do think they're good rifles. Everything I've seen on those Bagaras are great rifles. And
they're good Rem 700 footprints. A lot of after. That's one thing. And let me know if that's you guys too in the comments. What do you guys think about after? And we'll talk about that, the Mauser M18 just previously. If you've just tuned in, that's what is a big thing for me. Aftermarket parts, having aftermarket stocks if I want to put a chassis on something. That's what turns me off about a lot of companies when these new ones, they don't make them off certain types of actions, which I completely understand. They want to branch off into their own avenue, which makes sense. But again, that's why I bought the Bagara. I know if shit hits the fan, I need a new rail, I need something, a new part for it. I need a new trigger. I can easily just chuck something brand new on it, and it's going to work from a Remington 700 footprint. So is that in your psyche or thought process when you actually purchase a rifle? Let us know. Or you don't worry about that at all, whether it's got aftermarket parts. Because if you break a stock or something and then you got to go back to the manufacturer, you're pretty much at their disposal and whim of what you have to pay to get that item again because no one else makes it.
Well, I 100% agree with you. If you're building a custom gun, definitely 700 footprint is the way to go. You look at my 6.5. I can buy absolutely everything for it around that footprint, even though, got to admit, right now it's a $5,000 shotgun because it explodes every projectile 5 feet out of the barrel. But one day I'm going to die about it.
Should have bought a Tika.
Yes, I'm never going to hear the end of this one until I get the bloody thing fixed. But one day it will fix. I'm very optimistic about it. But yes, if you're building a gun, it's a show that Jason and me are going to talk about in the future, factory versus custom. Should you do it? My only experience with building a custom gun is my 6.5 Creedmoor that blows bullets up. So I don't really know on what side of the fence I am on. And the same 6.5 PRC I put into my friend's Christensen Arms, and it's shooting 2mm groups at 100 meters.
Steve Balakas says great head on Anastasia. Hopefully that's a joke, man, because it's not really the best. Mike Bryant says loves his Bagaras. Who else we got here? Nick, no, I won't read that one. Jake Craig, Remington 700 action is the best for aftermarket parts. That's why I've got my 6.5 PRC Bagara Ridgeback Premier. Exactly, man. Rose said Ticker and Lithgow mags are interchangeable. Okay, well, That's interesting. I didn't know that at all. If that's the case, I didn't know. Are you sure of that? I'm not 100% sure, but if you're saying it is, I'll agree with that. And Stevie Dean, Remington 700 is a lot like a Toyota, heaps of aftermarket parts. Yeah, mate, totally agree. That's, again, reason why I bought it, because I just thought, if something goes wrong, that stock could fall apart, or heaven forbid, you back over it in your car or something, which hopefully you never ever do. You want to have parts available, new stocks available, new parts available, triggers, springs and so forth, anything that you may need that might fall off somewhere. Or if you want to change a rail, you just simply buy heaps of parts available for Rem 700.
Yes, I do think it's the most versatile platform there is. And like I know you like your Tigers and everything, but I always think about if you want to change a stock or fix something else onto it, how easy it is to get the parts. Have you had any problems with your Tigers at all when you want to get something?
Normally, there are a lot of aftermarket parts. Remington obviously probably be, my guess, the number one, wouldn't it? Howers definitely would be up there. From Howers are pretty popular as well. I would guess, it's just purely a guess, that Howers and Tikers, a lot of aftermarket parts available because they're in that price range. They'd probably be the top three. Obviously, Bagara, again, being Remington 700. Obviously, as far as I'm aware, they used to make barrels. Actually, Bagara made a lot of barrels. That's where they first started making their splash into the firearms industry, as far as I've been made aware, was barrels. So then they obviously realized, well, maybe there's a market for us in firearms, and got into making firearms. And, I just think they're great. And as a lot of guys are saying here, they're having really, really good success. And Mumbles Munchie said, how a 1500 best bang for the buck. I've never had one, actually, but no, mate's got a 308. He slayed 2 deer last year with his 308. And, mate, again, dead is dead. People concentrate, I think, a bit too much on, calibers, this gun, that gun, some good hand loads and a good quality rifle. And even if that's a Hower, that's fine. If you get a good load for it, mate, it'll slay deer. Put something in front of it, it'll kill it,
Yeah, I agree totally. You've had good luck with your Tikers. I had good luck with a lot of my rifles, apart from my custom one. But how 1500, I got to say, next to the 700, Rem 700, they are the most modular rifle there is out there. You don't have to spend big bucks. You get
one for you, actually. Good one. I brought up Matt Rickard. Big question. Sauer or Lithgow? There you go.
Oh, that put me on the spot because I own both.
Only pick one.
Just one? Jeez, I do. Oh, God, I don't know.
I got a feeling you'd say Lithgow. That's my feeling, but I could be wrong.
No, I was going to say my Sauer 223 Akadama. Just amazing rifle.
Which one?
The Sauer 223.
So you're going Sauer?
But I've shot them all, and they're both very, very good rifles. It's a hard one to pick. I guess you just got to go towards what your price bracket is. Sauer's a little bit cheaper than the Lithgow, which I don't quite understand that, to be quite honest with you, because Lithgow's made in Australia and Sauer's imported from Germany. So, it's a hard one. I got a Lithgow 22, but as you know, you'll see on my channel, I've shot a wide variety of Lithgows, and they've all worked absolutely beautiful. It comes down to, do you want to support fully Australian made and designed guns, which is a good thing, or or if you're not on your budget, maybe go a Sauer, which is a few $100 cheaper. Both very, very good guns.
Yeah, and Rod Sweetster's here. I haven't seen Rod before. Sorry, Rob. He goes, sorry, I logged in late, guys. He's an hour behind. Any of the Lithgow Arms F90? So I guess that was in regards to our previous question about what you guys would buy. Automatic rifle. Has Aaron fallen off his chair yet? Ha ha, boys, Merry Christmas. No, he hasn't fallen off his chair just yet, but he still needs to upgrade, Rod. That Specsavers prescription for those glasses he's got on. So I'm trying to get him onto that for Christmas. So...
These are new Spec-Saver glasses. Jesus.
And you need to upgrade the power on them like a scope.
Jeez, I don't need to do
What
that.
you're telling me is you basically bought like the Lynx optics glasses, man, instead of like the Zeiss or the Night Forces or the Swarovskis or the whatever. You bought the Lynx, didn't you? The old $60 scope, mate.
I'll tell you what I brought. These are my reading ones, and I have don't know what they are.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
I got to wear 3 sorts of glasses. I got to wear one's just to walk around, one for the computer, and one for reading. It just never ends. I'm just so sick of this. And every 6 months, my eyes change. I've got to cost me a small fortune to buy new glasses continuously.
And Mike Bryant says, absolutely, it started with barrels. That's in regards to Bagara starting in the barrel manufacturing place before getting into firearms. Mike says, again, sour for the price, but Lithgow for Aussie made. Either way, you'll be. Nick Taylor says, either way, you'll be happy with both. So, yeah, if he's talking about the sour and the Lithgow, yeah, absolutely. Both will certainly do the job for you as well.
Yeah, I've got accuracy tests on both of them, so you can make your own mind up on it. That's for sure.
Yeah, Mumbles, Monkeys. I've got a Hauer 1500 6.5 Creedmoor in the TSPX chassis, shoots 3/4 inch at 200. Mate, you can't go wrong with that. Yeah, I mean 6.5. And again, I know a guy just got, I think he's got 6.5 Creed, I think too. Mate, he shoots everything with that thing. I know he's in New South Wales. He just made rabbits. But then I got another guy that has a 308, and all he's got is a 308. That's all he used to have. Then he bought a shotgun just for, rabbits, and if he wants to shoot some birds occasionally, whatever he does. But I go, what do you shoot like rabbits with? And he goes, I just head shoot him with a 308. And I go, what about deer? 308. He just uses one gun. That's the only gun in the shotgun he's got in his safe, and he does it.
If you feel comfortable with a gun, what if you don't want more or need more or can't afford more? Why would you change? 308. I reckon 308 and 3006 are the most versatile calibers out there. They'll pretty much drop most things out there.
Yeah, Overland 4x4 Australia. He left before and he said bye, but now he's back. He said, okay, I'm back. He had the missus make him a smoothie. I think he meant smoothie. Oh, nice. So he's back. She made him a smoothie. So, mate, he's got the wife in order there, making him a nice smoothie, ready to complete the last bit of the live stream.
I'm watching how many people are watching right now, and it's not really dropping much below 80 people. This is amazing. It's unreal. People actually want to listen to us talk crap on Christmas. This is awesome. You guys are awesome.
Good one here too, especially in New South Wales. Overland says, "What are 4x4 Australia? What are the pros and cons of collection license?" I had it. I say none really, unless you're a collector. I know some people used to, tread the words I say carefully, but that would give them access to certain types of subcompact pistols here in New South Wales that had commemorative style or historical style value. But again, sometimes I think, again, don't quote me on this. Somebody's not supposed to be shooting them, but I think some clubs have had, what would you call it? Not like they have a club shoot. That might be once a year where you're able to shoot those firearms you do have. Don't quote me on that, but if anyone's in the collecting industry, let us know in the comments. Love to hear from. And Neil Constantine, one of our regulars, has just joined the stream. How are you, boys? A bit late tonight. Yep, welcome, Neil. He's one of our regulars, but unfortunately we did it on a Wednesday night because we knew if we did it tomorrow on Christmas Eve, I should say, probably no one would tune in and everyone will be watching, what's his name? Christmas Vacation. What's his name? What's that guy's name? You know the show. Chevy Chase. I love it every year, man. I'd be with my family in Queensland or wherever they are at the time, mostly in Queensland, last 10, 15 years. And we'd have like cabanossi, some nibblies, some cheese, and we'd watch the Christmas special of Chevy Chase, man, where, but remember his boss ends up going to his house and he ends up smacking him with that rubber and all that. Old Chevy Chase. Oh, man, good stuff.
Yes. And here's Mike. Franchi, are they good rifles? Very little marketing for the brand. Well, I've done an off-the-shelf review of Franchi. It felt nice, but as the company that imports them absolutely hates my guts for some reason, so I can't review it from them, and I'm not going to go buy one. But it felt nice enough in the hand. I don't know how accurate they are. There's not many reviews out there. There's not many people talking about them. I do think they're just a cheap gun, to be honest. Yeah, if the company that imports them can't be bothered marketing them, you got to think twice about, is it worth buying? That's why I don't do
Retro
it.
said his biggest thing that drew him to the T3X was Aaron's reviews and the bunny busting vid. So, well, mate, tell Beretta so they can, all the guns I've sold for him, so they can actually give me a little bit of commission of some of those gun sales. Because I hear that all the time, people from the podcast, and I bought this because I saw you've been recommending it, or I saw your videos. It's like, dude, I'd love to get some money back from those bastards to to let them know you heard about it from me and you're buying it because of me, so I can receive a little bit of commission paycheck back.
Calling them bastards is probably not the best way to get money back from them.
Okay, not bastards, people. Let them know so I can get that check in. You know what I mean?
Well, it looks like a lot of people here absolutely love the Christmas Vacation Lapoon movie.
Lampoons, that's it. National Lampoons, the Christmas special. What's it called again? I think it was
Your National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, it is Christmas Vacation, yeah. Oh, hang on. It might be, was it Christmas Vacation?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, he is right. Yeah, 1989, Christmas Vacation. Oh, I love that, man. Clark Griswold and his wife, Ellen Griswold. Randy Quaid. That's right. Randy Quaid was in it. Anyway, let's get back to the
Wally World. Remember that?
Wally, yeah. That wasn't as good. I love the Christmas special one, man, where they're, he's got his neighbors. Remember, he's always getting electrocuted, and his neighbors, the shit goes through the neighbor's house. And I'm just having a look here, seeing what people are coming up with. No Christmas bonus. If I had a rubber hose, it'd be exactly. National Lampoons. So how can you not love that, man? Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin. That was the good days, man. I used to love that flick too, Home Alone, where he shoots him in the balls with the air rifle.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I do like those movies. I think they're good. But here's one very interesting one. I own one of these rifles. Joe Morgan. I have a Discord friend in Austria, not Australia, and he has a Heinel. It's a Heinel Jaeger. Is pretty good, and they make all sorts of guns. My Heinel Jaeger 308 is possibly one of the most accurate guns and smoothest actions I've ever used. The thing is unbelievable. I've still got it, and I'll never, ever let that thing go. It's bright orange in your face, but it is the most accurate 308 I've ever owned in my life for hunting. And that is actually my backup rifle. And I refused to get a backup 308 because my main rifle was the Hell's Canyon in 3006, and I take that with me with the ammunition as a backup in the back of the ute every time. And probably not even halfway through hunting of the night, I'll pull out the Heinel Jaeger because it is such a pleasure to shoot. 168 grain Hornady VMAXs or ZMAXs or ZMAXs, whatever they were. Man, these things just put the hurt. No matter where I point it, it's going down. It's a polished stainless steel bolt, and the thing is unbelievable. And I think it's the most underappreciated rifle in Australia. And in fact, I will record another review on that gun.
Jake Craig says Fierce Arms and Christensen Arms are both great, apart from the Fallout story that went on there. It all did was make them free publicity. I don't know about any of the story. Was there a story? if there was, let us know in the comments. I don't know about any stories about those particular brands. So I know they both make good guns from what I understand and from what I hear. So, yeah, let us know if I don't know what stories you're talking about. So we'd love to. Here we go. Here's one for you, Aaron. I'm not sure if you want to answer this one. Aaron, have you shot or looked at the Oceana Precision SP25? I haven't heard of that, but I don't know if you have the Oceana SP25.
Yeah, I definitely have. The owner approached me and we talked about it. And basically, I just got to say it right now, he wanted to use my platform as free advertising. So I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. It's that simple.
Right. I wasn't sure what they do or what sort of gun they. What sort of gun is it? What is it anyway? Is
a very expensive straight pull rifle.
Okay, cool. All right. Never heard of it before, so there you go.
To look tactical. Hey, it looked nice, and the engineering of it was nice, but I'm sorry, I just got to say it. I've been doing this for 8 years now. I'm not a free advertising agency for everyone. Just because you're going to lend me a rifle for 2 hours, like this was going to happen, and expect me to say good things. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to bullshit you guys because someone allowed me to shoot their rifle. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. I've invested too much money and my time in this to be a complete and utter shill for anyone.
Oh, looks like I've opened up a can of worms with that question. I never knew about that. But anyway, Mike Bryant says Die Hard. Christmas is the best movie to watch. Another good one, man. Die Hard, yes. Very good movie, dude. One of the best. Yeah. One of the best.
Christmas movie there is. Yeah, Christmas has not happened until you see Hans Gruber falling from a 50-story building.
What was it? Nakatomi Plaza, I think it is.
That's it in LA.
Yeah, let me have a look. Yeah, Nakatomi Plaza.
And here we go. Pete says Hans Gruber has a great taste in handguns. HKP7. Yes, I've shot that gun quite extensively in the past, and it is a beautiful gun.
Oh, Jake Craig says the barrel maker from Christensen Arms left them and started Fierce Firearms and started a riff. Okay. I didn't know that, man. I mean, I know they both make pretty good guns from what I hear about it, but yeah, I didn't know that, man. But anyone got any Fierce Arms or Christensen Arms? Let us know in the comments what you think of them.
Oh, my mate James has Christensen Arms, and I've shot them, and geez, they're great guns. They really are good guns. I really do like them. And that is probably the 338 Lapua I'm going to buy is the Christensen Arms carbon fiber. If the price doesn't go up too much.
Die Hard. Who was Hans Gruber again? I know the name. He's from Harry Potter, right?
I don't like
Alan Rickman. Very good actor, Alan Rickman.
Yep.
Good movie. Very good movies.
Good
that time of the year, isn't it, mate? You know, always good to be that time of the year. Christmas, the Griswolds, family vacation, Home Alone, Die Hard. I mean, what a time to be alive, eh, guys? We've beaten what we should look for in this podcast or this live stream is that we beat 2020. We beat it.
We survived. We survived.
We didn't get COVID. We didn't lose that. Hopefully, most of us didn't lose our jobs. I mean, people did. I know it's shit. You know, I agree. You know, and the government, like in America, same thing now. They're giving like $600 checks. They're going out of business, these people, and they get a $600 check. What the fuck's a $600 check going to do? You're kidding.
Exactly. And it,
$600,000, maybe then they might be able to talk, but.
And yet they're giving hundreds of millions of dollars to Israel and Sudan,
yeah.
And 1.5 million to the diversity group or some bullshit. Unreal. These people are losing their livelihoods, their jobs, their families. And this is something that really pisses me off about all this, and including in Australia, is all the media, all the government refuse to talk about the suicides that have come from this. It's all been cricket's dead silence, which is absolutely wrong. Probably more people have died in Australia from suicide than they have from COVID.
Exactly. Aussie Capitalist says, no, getting back, talking about that collector's license, remember? And the historical Vegas, no, you can only shoot them once or twice a year whenever your historical club has a shoot on. So there you go. And I think it's similar in New South Wales when they have like a shoot on, you think you are able to sometimes. But again, it's only in very strict circumstances. You know, probably wouldn't get caught shooting it outside of those shoots because you'd probably be in breach of your license as well. So,
well, I've heard it in Queensland here. They've actually stopped the collector's shoots. You can't shoot them. That's it. There's no
really?
yearly shoot. Yeah, I don't know about that because I'm not a part of the collectors people, but that's what someone told me.
Joe Morgan says, he goes, that's right. It isn't Christmas until Hans Gruber drops.
Exactly. Good stuff. Yeah, actually, I might
slow motion, remember, too, and you look at his face. I mean, imagine that would be horrible. Imagine that you just been let go of, or however he fell off the roof or whatever happened. I can't remember end of Die Hard 1. I know he falls off or he's grabbing him and he loses his hand or whatever it is. And then the look on your face, man, I'd be shitting myself too because I know in about 1 to 2 seconds I'm going to be splattered on the ground.
Well, Rick was scared of heights, and they didn't tell him it was going to be dropped, and he didn't realize he was going to be dropped that far, or he didn't know when it was going to happen. He wasn't meant to do that. It was meant to be a stunt double that's going to be dropped, and they just used his face, and then they just dropped him like 10 meters onto a pad, and there was pure fear for him because he's actually terrified of heights. That's how they got the good shot.
Yeah. And JR goes, Aaron's not a sellout from JR. And I think, mate, if I won the lottery, I'd make him a sellout. I'd be having all the gear. I'd be giving it him to review. I'd be paying him, and he'd be my bitch. So I'd make him sell out, man. Don't worry.
No money, no problem taking your money. Here we go. Aaron, and the suicide of our veterans is a national disgrace. I agree 100%. Jason is a veteran. He was in the army for years.
Yeah, don't say veteran. I was in the army. I'm not saying an absolute veteran. Veteran, I reckon someone's probably been in over at least 5 years. I was 4 years, but I mean, that's not agreeable. Like, I don't, but I don't like being called that. But I was in the army, put it that way. I was in the army, put it that way.
Put your humility aside. You did serve this country well, and we should respect everyone that did. And I agree. Especially wounded vets coming back, that's happened to them. Our government does treat them very poorly. Now, there's a story that I'll tell you guys where I get my fire extinguishers from. The guy I get the fire extinguishers from, they're going to be destroyed because they're out of date, so they give them to me. Their friend was in Afghanistan. They went and raided a house. I'll cut it down for you. They raided a house in Afghanistan, a bunch of terrorists. They did the breach. They breached the house, contained everyone, went back outside. One of the guys was down, skull cracked open. Everything was covered up. Everything was covered up. And they did absolutely everything to say it was not a war injury, to get out of the insurance claims, you name it. Everything was done to cover this bullshit up. And the guy, and they can't figure out what actually happened to him. It was probably a guy came up and cracked him across the back of the head, but there could have been discrepancy. The guy fell against backwards, don't know how, against some stairs. The guy had to start life all over again. They spent years in court fighting the government because the guy was basically like these movies you see. He had to start every morning. His wife had to tell him that she was his wife, and these are your young children. Every day he lost his memory, like that movie, 50 days, 50 dates or whatever it was. It was like that. Every day he had to be told that this is your children, I'm your wife, and she had a book with pictures showing him, and then he forgot about it by that night. And the government did everything to be to get out of it, everything. And after years of fighting, they won in court, and they got enough money to pay for full-time care for the poor bastard. The guy was a hero, and the government did everything to shit on him just because of money. I'd much rather see my taxpayers' money go towards a wounded vet than propping up some government bloody, politicians' pension.
Or giving all of our money to freaking overseas.
Yes, exactly.
Anyway, Mick Becker says 3 hours in. Are we 3 hours in? We are 3 hours in and still going strong. Good one from Neil Constantinow. We speak about this one a lot. He goes, hey, boys, you know what I'm going to say here anyway, but hey, boys, what do you think is the best hunting shotgun? Mate, for me, the Miraku or Moroku. Hang on, is it Miraku, Moroku, or Miraku, Moroku, or Moroka? How you say it, right? The MK70, man. Just don't think you can get a better bang for your buck shotgun out there, mate. The Miraku MK70.
Yep, that's
or Mark 70, whatever you want to call it.
And that's for under and over?
Yeah, that's right, under and over, man. I just think bang for the buck, good action. Last year, you look after that, dude. Oil it, keep it in good nick, mate, it'll last you the rest of your life. There's I'll bring it up next week probably, or when we do the next stream. There's like a gun oil that you can use, like not for the actual like steel, but for actually for the wood. It's always good to put them on there because if you've got low humidity and you're safe, you've got like something in there that can suck the moisture out of these stock. So I've actually got to get one for mine, actually, for one of the shotguns I've got too. And you just rub it all over the wood, once or twice a year. And it just keeps that, that wood nice and supple, and it keeps it, in good condition. If you put them in too low humidity, you can actually suck the moisture out of the wood. So you just got to be careful. And, the wood becomes brittle and doesn't look good and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's just a nice gun oil you put on the actual wood of the of those guns. Just keeps them nice and mate, shoot it for the rest of your life. Hand it down to one of your kids, mate.
Yeah, definitely. Talking about oil, I've been testing this stuff out from a high caliber Australian company. You rub it on. You did a review, a podcast on the guy. Not bad. I have put it on my 1911. The reason I haven't done the review for the last 6 weeks was because I've been testing the thing out. My 1911 Remington rusts like a motherfucker. I mean, it rusts. You look at it and it rusts. And I've been testing it with this stuff on for 6 weeks now in my safe, and no other gun ever rusts in my safe apart from this Remington 1911 R1 I've got.
Well, it's a Remington, mate. What do you expect? They didn't go out of business for nothing.
Dude, I'm starting to agree with you. And I won't.
For any Remington lovers, that's a joke for now. I'm giving Aaron shit because I know he's a Remington lover. So,
yeah, well, I'm very disappointed in my Remington R1 45 ACP 1911. So I've put this on it, and we will talk about in the review coming up. It'll be a short one because it's oil. Not much you can talk about it, and how it looks right now. So it's one of the I get asked about handguns all the time. What is the best handgun, worst handgun? And I've got to be honest, I love my 45, but I would not recommend a Remington R1. It rusts like a bastard.
Yeah. And JR again says, Aaron's dignity is not for sale. When did you assume he had any dignity at all, man? You can't have dignity for sale when he doesn't have any.
You're a harsh bastard. I can't bullshit you guys. I'm sorry. I can't bullshit you. When I do a review, I can't. No matter, like, hey, I'm not like other channels. I will tell you when a gun is supplied to me, and I will tell you the exact truth. You don't have to trash a gun, in a review, like absolutely trash talk it. But you can do it subtly and talk about it. But I can't do it. I just can't bullshit you. If a gun doesn't perform, it doesn't perform. The M77 custom gun I did, I'll upload that again. It was from the old channel. And I love Ruger M77s. I think that's some of the best guns ever. This thing was a piece of fucking garbage. Everything fell apart on it. And that's the gun I had. That's what happened on the day. I had this thing for a couple of weeks. I went out a couple of times over a couple of weeks to try and refilm it and work this thing out. The thing was a piece of junk. And I love Ruger M77s. So I'm not going to bullshit you guys about these guns. It's just
that's the hard part, isn't it? It's the hard part. When I've always said when Aaron's doing reviews, it is always the hard part because people naturally, and I've said this before, it's like anything. Like I've drive the Triton, man. People are always giving me shit about the Triton. Drive a Triton. I don't take it seriously, but at the end of the day, a lot of people do take. If you've got something, let's say like Aaron gives me shit about this. I've got tickers, for an example, like, and Aaron's giving me shit. A lot of people get upset with that type of comment because what they see that as a reflection upon themselves when they shouldn't be seeing it like that. Because like some people might say with me, like if someone's having a go at me about the Triton, people that own Tritons will get upset with those types of comments because they enjoy that particular product and they see that as a reflection upon themselves. So if someone's having a go at the rifle or whatever item it is, therefore you're actually they think you're actually having a go at the person, but it's not the case at all. So people have got to probably sometimes just leave that at the door. Just because I like something and someone puts shit on that particular item or maybe doesn't have a glowing review, it's not a reflection of the person that owns it. That's the whole point. And so that's where people sometimes, this happens a lot with political parties. Me and Aaron know this in the past. People love certain types of pro-gun political parties. We've said something they may not like, and all of a sudden they see that as a reflection upon themselves because they like that party or they like that gun or that car or that four-wheel drive. So, again, people have got to get out of that. It's not a reflection just because someone's a bad review or a less than glowing review of something. It's not a reflection on the person. People have got to get out of that habit of, well, I own this, I like it, therefore this person's saying something bad about it, therefore it's a reflection on me. Is that like you're having a go at them, because that's how people take it. I like it, so you're having a go at what I like, therefore you're having a go at me. So people just got to get out of that sort of mentality, I reckon.
Oh, yeah, just because I say something, I'm not attacking a certain person. I'm not after that. Just not attacking people individually or because what you've brought. If a rifle works for you, it may not work for me. Every person is different. But it always staggers me. I get these all the time. Every video I do, I get people hounding me about different things. And
it almost reminded, when it was about the whiskey drizzle, because we've got a bunch of questions coming through. But when me and Aaron will post them, we posted something about, wearing masks. We weren't fans of, wearing the government issued muzzle. I know Aaron made a few memes about it. And the only people that got upset with those memes are the ones that were actually wearing masks. Because, again, they saw that Aaron was having a go at the mask, but they saw that as a reflection on them because they were actually wearing the mask and approved of it. So it's just the same thing anyway. But anyway, let's move on. We've got Stevie Dean. Said his mate has a Fierce Arms in 300 rum. He said it's an absolute weapon. Retro, thanks, Jason, for your services. Good, sir. My hat goes off to you. He was asking about the 243 and the super varmint earlier. So no worries, mate. If I can help you as much as I can, join the live streams again and be a part of the live stream. We'll answer more of your questions if we can get time and they pop up. Stevie Dean says that the 300 rum and the Fierce can shoot a Coke can at 1,000 meters. I'd like to see that. It's bloody good then if it can shoot a can at 1,000 meters. That's a bloody long way. What, no wind or wind? Because the wind will always screw it up. And we've got our buddy again from the Real Australia back again. One of our regulars has been here pretty early too and said, one day early. Yeah, mate, we're one day early because we knew no one had come around for Christmas or Christmas Eve. They'd be too busy watching either Die Hard, Home Alone, or the Griswolds' family Christmas vacation. So, and I don't blame them because I'm probably going to sit there, grab something to eat tomorrow night and, mate, enjoy my bloody Christmas Eve and reflect on a hard year,
Or maybe we should do one of these watch parties. It's all the biggest rage out there where you watch them.
Hey, dude, we've got to say, man, if you've been watching, Aaron likes it too, The Mandalorian. Get on that shit. Season 1, Season 2. don't look on Facebook, don't look on Instagram, don't look at anything about it because it's going to give away all the good shit if you haven't watched it already. But, man, season 2 ended with a bang. Let's just say that, man. If you love Star Wars like I do, I know Aaron's a big fan of Star Wars and that sort of thing as well. We're a bit disappointed, obviously, with the most recent Star Wars movies, but Disney, must admit, did a pretty bloody good job with The Mandalorian. So download it. Oh, sorry. Join Disney Plus, I should say. And watch The Mandalorian. But don't look anything about it. Don't look on Facebook because everyone's posting about it. It's going to give away all the good shit. But, yeah.
Maybe we should do a watch party video on the Die Hard. The only movie there is.
Yeah, and the real Australia, people talk about gun oils too, as Aaron was just talking about, saying inox is good. Yeah, I agree. I buy a lot of inox. I buy it in the spray cans, but I also buy it in the 5-litre bottles from like BCF or I'm not sure if Bunnings sell it anymore. You can get it online, maybe your local Blackwoods as well. Sometimes I've got the Lanatech as well. It's called the UP, was the Ultimate Protection, but now it's the Steel Seal. Did they change the name? That's good for everything, man. Guns. It's the non-sticky-ish version of the heavy duty because I sprayed the heavy duty under my car, the Lanatech, probably 4 years ago, and I'm still getting that off now, but I don't know why I'm trying to get it off because that's what it's there for. It's supposed to cover it up, drive it over a dirt road, get all dust underneath your car. Yeah, it looks like shit, but it still seals everything in. So I love inox. I love the Lanox or the lanolin derivatives as well. Yeah, keep your guns rust-free, guys. Put them in, I've got a fairly small-ish safe, like medium size. So I generally put my stuff in gun socks and that because they are touching. I hate guns touching and you pull them out and they're hitting the scopes. And I know Aaron doesn't care about that, but I do. So I hate that, So I put all mine in gun socks when they go in the safe. Oil them up before you put them in. One barrel up, one barrel down, just so I can fit them all in.
Yes, well, I don't hold that against you, but you owning Tikkas and one Beretta. What is it, a Beretta?
What have I got? I got one Bagara. I got CZ457. I got Tikka T1X. A couple of Tikkas. I think about 4. I got 243, 260, and the 7mm Magnum. I think I said the T1X. I've got shotguns. I got a straight pull Dickinson, which is not bad. I think that'd be better for foxes. I wasn't really too fussed with it. Nothing wrong with it. Perfect gun. Nothing wrong with it. But just more for bird shooting. It's not really the go. I'd prefer the over and under or a side by side. Foxes, pigs, I can be perfect. And I think I've also got a 28-inch Beretta Silver Pigeon 1 as well. And I've had a bunch of Miracus. As I said, I know I keep saying I bought the Miracu MC70. It is the best, and I do agree with that. It is the best. I would get another one if as soon as I get another one, if one breaks down or I get another hunting one, that's the first one I'm going to get. I've had about 2 Miracus, but like always, sometimes you just get a hankering for something else, and then you sell stuff. And I don't think I've got any gun. Have you got any guns, Aaron? And this is a good question for people watching. Very good question, actually. Have you got any guns when you first got into Australia, Aaron? You first got your gun license. You would have bought your first gun. Have you still got any of those guns? Because I don't have any of the one I bought. I bought a Miracu Model 10 Grade 1 and a Tikka Hunter Blued in 223, and I don't have any of those firearms currently at the moment. Do you have any of your first guns you've ever owned?
Yes, I do. My very first gun I brought was the Tikka. Not the Tikka. What am I saying?
Oh, nice.
I'm about to hit my head. It's a CZ5. Yeah, the 5. What is it? The 525 or whatever it is.
What was it? The 525. What was it? Which one? Say again. I didn't hear that last part.
Sorry, the 425. 425 was the first one, 22 LR.
Oh, you still got that one, yeah.
Yep. And I have the scope. I can't remember the scope. I haven't shot that for so long. I think I got a Vortex scope on it that I want to get rid of because it's a bigger, sort of a bit of a clunky scope, to be quite honest with you. We talked about this afternoon about the scopes. You were talking about the Vortex. What was the one you talked about? Diamondback. Yeah, I've got one of those. They're not really I'm not really that too impressed with it, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, we still haven't got any things for our scopes for our 22s yet. And I've rang up a couple of shops, man. Like, there's just no stock, mate. No one's got any freaking stock in. Man, it's like, what's going on? I'm probably going to have no choice but to buy overseas because, from Optics Planet or one of those guys, because I've got bloody nothing,
Yeah, well, yeah, I tend to agree with you. I've got nothing for my CZ 515. And I've got to be surprised. I'm so surprised at how accurate that thing was. I really was. But I've got no scope for it. No permanent scope. The scope I put on it was from my Sauer 100 223.
Yeah.
That I'm back on that.
And Michael asked me, I put it in the comments, but I'll answer anyone here, I guess. What's the model and magnification of that Hawk scope you've got in your 22? You score ultra long range hit. I wouldn't say it's ultra long range, man, but for 22, it's not bad. That's the Hawk Vantage at 3 to 9x40. And like I said, most of the guys know that I've mentioned it a regular on the show, dude. All I do is set it up on the Strelok app with the ammo. 1250 feet a second, whatever the ammo is, whatever ammo works in your gun. And then all you do is just use the Strelok app to hold over, use the reticle to hold over, and then just do a bit of a trajectory validation test. So when I first do it, I think I zeroed at 50 meters. And I think 5 mils, if you zero obviously further, you can get further. But if you zero at 50 or 60 meters, that'll get you out to about 150 to 160 meters. That's using the holdover of the reticle. So it is better if you have a reticle that's got half hash increments as well. So half, 1, 1.5, 2, 1.5. But that scope's only got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if it says 3.3, you just hold a little bit over 3. Roughly what you'd think would be 3.3. Obviously, they're second focal plane scope, so you need to be at full magnification for the reticle to collaborate, man. So you need to be at 9 power. So it's preferred if you are going to shoot a 22 second focal plane at that distance, you're better using a lower power because you don't want to be, because if you're doing it at 16 power, you need to be collaborated at 16 power. So I don't do that. So I think it's better 3 to 9x40 is better, man. So, and yeah, I'm hitting a little rabbit gong at 150 meters. My mate was there one time and he goes, range find it like 149. And I said, we'll just aim pretty much right on 5 mils. Ding, 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 ding. Just testing it out make sure we're going to be on before we were going to shoot some rabbits with it. So does the job, man. It does the job. And you know what? It's fun because you actually know what the gun's doing. And with the Strelok app, you can actually print out that range card too. Laminate it, stick it to your stock with a bit of tape or something. And then when you go out and you see some rabbits, you can be like, 80 meters, 3 mils, bang, shoot, hit, rabbit. Hopefully, if your ammunition's good and it's shooting good. There you go.
Exactly. Colin Penfold, Jace, the Loopholder VX, XV Freedom 3 to 9 for your 22 is a great scope. I have to admit, with my eyes, the loopholes do work very well.
Yeah, and I think Matt Rickard said, he goes, he hasn't sold any of his guns, but he goes, he's a hoarder.
You have sold a couple of Tikkas in the past.
Yeah, but I don't have. Yeah, I have. Yeah. I sold a 3. I lost about $500 on that. I bought the Tikka, the 300 Win Mag, remember, and then realized, even though I knew this already, I just thought there was a way around it. It wasn't a true long action, so was going to have trouble running the 208 grains. I mean, I could seat them a lot deeper for max magazine length, but I just didn't feel that was going to be a good option. So yeah, bought the Bagara, the HMR, which is I'm really, really liking. And I was quite surprised how mild it shoot with a little cheap $100 muzzle brake. From I think it was Gun Bloke bought one off him. So, 3-port brake does a good job.
They're down the Gold Coast, aren't they? Not far from me.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. I just got it ordered, came a couple of weeks and put it on. And, mate, 208 grain EOD matches. I reckon they're just going to they're going to scream fast. But it's going to be a lot of power behind a 208 grain bullet. So not bad anyway. I never know. One day I might even, depends on how I feel, but I think 208 is pretty good for, long range hunting or long range shooting here. You could go to the 225 ELD matches as well, but, it's a lot of extra weight and a lot of probably extra recoil. It's not really required, but the BC on them is pretty bloody darn good. I think it's about almost 690 for the 208 grain ELD matches. So pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. And Here's Zach. I haven't seen Zach M here before. Welcome to the channel. I had a 3006, my first gun. It was fun. I used it on rabbits. Ha ha. Hey, you got to use what you got to use in your hand at the time. You can't pick and choose when you're out hunting because you normally only got one gun, haven't you? 3006, I still stand by. It's one of the most versatile calibers there is out there. And I want to see you to buy a 3006. And if you don't buy a 3006, Jace, I'm going to have to pitch in, and everyone here maybe donate to Jason and we'll buy him a 3006. And I can tell you now, it's not going to be a Tika. It's going to be a Sour.
Could it be a Bagara or?
I'll allow a Bagara or a Sour. But it's time you shot 3006.
Yeah, someone said trying the Vixen 3-12 on my CZ452. The reason we haven't chosen one yet is because, like I said, I'm using the holdover on the Tika T1X with that Hawk Vantage. But what I'm also trying to do is with the other one is the CZ457 Varmint, which is a 22 as well, but I've got that in the chassis. So I just don't want to do the same thing again. So my ass is getting a bit sore here. We've been 3.5 hours. I don't want to do the same thing of just holding over. I want a scope that can dial, probably in the no more than 20 magnification, maybe 4-16, something like that. So otherwise, if I don't, there's no point having two rifles that do the same thing. That sort of limit me to about 150 meters, which is fine anyway. Like I'm not going to probably shoot further than that anyway, but on my next rabbiting trip, I'd love to sort of be able, if I can dial out and try and whack a few at 150 to 200 with the 22, I think that'd make pretty good footage. So I want that Tika T1X has got a 16-inch short barrel where I hold over using the reticle, and I want the 457 in the chassis for a bit more of a dialing, bit more of a fun, stretch out the legs, so to speak. But you need to be able to do that with, with a good scope as well. It's got enough elevation and so forth. So I think I put a 25 MOA rail on it. So we're going to be pretty decent for a sort of elevation, or 20, I think it's 25 MOA extra. So on the rail, but yeah.
Well, here we have Michael P. Anyone here have used the Parrot 007 night vision attachment on their scope? Hey?
That's the Parler.
Yeah. Need to change something with the side focus parallax, and have heard that it's more likely a cheaper scope working best with it. Well, I've tried so many different thermals, and I love thermal and night vision scopes in the past. I've tried a lot, and unfortunately I lost a lot of those videos when my channel went down. And to be honest, I'm just not a fan of batteries. I took a night vision out for a review, and I was hunting Pest, and the batteries died and the charger wouldn't work, and it was the end of the night. Like I had my 308 Hainel Jaeger there, they could take over.
I'll tell you something funny. Speaking about this, I've got a podcast I did the other day with a dude from Queensland on this exact topic, thermals and night vision. It comes out on Wednesday, the 30th of December. So check that out. But it seems to be what people are doing these days. It's not, and again, it's all going to come back to how much do you want to spend. What seems to be the consensus amongst some people is they walk around with the actual monocle. So it's something you just hold in your hand, or you have it around your neck. And what you do is you have your day scope as you normally would. Let's say you got a 22, you have your day scope on, like your normal day scope that you normally shoot during the day with, right? So Leopold, Hawk, whatever it is, right? And then what you do is you said buy the red light with multiple different levels of power with the red torch from like AliExpress or something. I'm like, well, where's this going? Anyway, so you put that on top of your scope or whatever, and then what do you do then? He goes, you look around with the monocle to find out where the game is. So like, let's say it's pitch black, you're looking through the thing, and then he goes, what you do then is as soon as you see a rabbit over there, he goes, you put it around your neck, lift up your gun, turn your red torch on, and then he goes, then you basically shoot it in front of the red torch, because the red torch will bring up enough, if it's right on top of the scope, that you'll be able to see the game, and you know where it is, so you just aim towards where it is. And he goes, try and, if it's deer or it's goats or something like that, start it low, and he goes, then bring it up onto them so you don't spook them and that. And he goes, most of them just won't get spooked with the red light, compared to if you have a big torch like a normal LED and you light the bastard up like it's Christmas. He goes, they normally just run off. So the red light, start it low, bring it up slowly, and then bang. And then he goes, then you can look for more through your monocle. So it's not connected to your scope. Of course, you can buy the ones with the illuminator connected to the scope. So the scope will read the sensor in the scope will read the illumination, which then obviously comes back in, and you can look through the scope and do it. But he goes, mate, most people, the popular ones, they're just buying their monocle, look around, find the game, put it down, lift the gun up, turn the torch on, red light, bang, shoot, dead. So that's, again, stay tuned for that podcast. Comes out on the 29th, I think at 4 o'clock on the 29th of December, man. So check the page, Australian Hunting Podcast, or on Facebook.
Yes. I've just used so much night vision and thermals in the past. I don't know. It's just my one experience, I went out actually proper hunting with it, and the batteries died, and the night was over if I didn't have my backup gun all sighted in. So I'm just not 100% sold on all the sort of battery reliant sort of scopes and that. I'm just not.
Yeah, because I was surprised when he was talking about it. At one stage, we had a bit of just an issue on the line, so I sort of had to. And he goes, really, night vision is actually, Aaron said, likes night vision. He said, night vision is sort of not really where it's at. Sorry, night vision is where it's at these days, not really the thermals. He goes, we get a lot better results with the illuminators than they do with, say, thermal, and thermal's a lot more expensive. So they go, mate, they can, in the results apparently with these monocles, starting at about probably 17 or 1800. I mean, you can go into the fucking $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000, man. Like, sky's the limit. But again, I don't need to be buying that stuff if you've got really regular places, private property to go to that's really game rich. Otherwise, you're really not going to get your money's worth, I don't think. If you're going to go, you got no property and no public land, and then you can't hunt at night, obviously, on public land, what's really the point of buying it? But if you want it, hey, I'm always about buying it, but no point buying it if you can't use it.
Exactly. Also, what I found about thermals is you got to know your terrain. You got to know what's behind it, because the thermal doesn't pick up the land behind it. So if you don't know you got to know you're shooting into a bank or something. The bullet's just got to keep going and going. The thermal won't tell you that. You can't judge the distances of all the terrain behind you. That's one thing I like about thermals. And
the night vision is good because you can clearly, again, depends on how far you are, obviously. You can generally, with a decent one, he goes, say 1700 and up, you can pretty easily, and the closer they are, the more so easy it is. But they go even up to 200, you can easily make out deer at 200. You know what I mean? So he goes, it's really easy. You know what you shoot, and you're not shooting game of the farmer's cows or the farmer's lambs or anything like that. So they are pretty good. They are pretty good. So, but I was surprised because I wasn't really understanding what he was sort of saying, but then it all made sense when he kept talking about this torch. I'm like, what's he talking about? But it all made sense when he sort of said, aim, look, find game. Because he goes, if you've got one on a scope, can you imagine walking around like this all night? You got to look through the scope all the time. You got to lift the gun up the whole night, looking through the scope to try and shoot something. So when it's around your neck, just look. Oh yeah, game over there. Torch on, aim up, bang. You know what I mean?
And with the thermals, if you're not not thermals, the night vision. If you're not all using night vision, as soon as someone pings a torch on, which I had,
that's it. Yeah.
Right, game over. It's just a whitewash. Basically.
Sometimes he even said you can get them where they're on a helmet, where like the monocular, so it just lifts up, man. So you can get on the gun and then just go boop down, and then you're basically like the predator, man. You just looking around, and you can just walk around. He goes, you can have it near your eye, man. You're just walking around like looking, and you can see the ground where you're going. Because it lights it up it's like CCTV footage, pretty much the same stuff. When you got the illuminator. He goes, that's part of the illuminator's part of the one. And he goes, even if you want, you can get some that even record as well. So he goes, your mate shooting, you can say, mate, like you can be pitch black and you go, mate, pretty much right in front of us, there's a rabbit on the ground, and then you aim for it, you can film from the monocular, and then he can shoot it, and you get footage doing that too.
Yes, well, funny you should say that. I actually did use the military goggles out hunting one night. It was from a guy that actually supplies them, and the thing was amazing. It's a Starlight goggles set. It was like $8,000 per eye, and you just dropped it down, and man, it turned night into day. And we looked at the stars. It was just unbelievable.
He talks about that too, because I never thought the thermals, or the night vision, basically based on starlight. And I didn't even know that. Man, I was like, wow, like that's how it's expensive shit. So, yeah, like I was surprised how they actually work, like starlight and all this sort of stuff, which you were just mentioning, which is crazy. Totally blows my mind.
It was. And this guy actually has a full-on hunting buggy, electric buggy, so there's no noise, and light, like the IR light. So he just drives around with his goggles, and that's it. Everything he touches is a night vision product. No torches, no nothing.
If you've got access to that, like I never heard of anyone, locating them and then using a red torch, because I thought, well, what's the difference between that and just spotlighting with a red torch? But he goes, it gives you a lot quicker. Obviously, if the wind's not in your favor, you're going to be screwed anyway, especially with any animals that scent you, foxes, deer, pigs, etc. You're not going to have any hope. But he goes, when it's pitch black, you're just walking around. And then he goes, as soon as you got time, you say, right, it's right here in front of you because you've already got it up. He goes, just pull it up and gun up, torch on, just bring it up to the game slowly. And he goes, just enough so you can see through the scope. Like if you can set it to say it's got 5 levels of power, you might set it up, say level 2, and it might be a bit further. So he goes, you click it to level 3 and just bring it up onto the game and then bang. So I never heard of it. People said basically really it's just a locating device, game locating device, and you're not driving around in a car with a big bloody torch out the window and your front lights on your vehicle. You're just looking through this binocular. Because if you get the headset, you can just, like the helmet. I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think that is definitely the way to go. I've talked to a few people who do use that system, and they reckon it is really good. But here's something a bit on a lighter side. There you go, Jace.
What's that? Sorry, I'm on the other screen. Hi, I'm Jake's partner, and I would love to put a lamb on the spit. Pity he can never shoot one. Love him, though. Also, can you explain night vision to Jake? He doesn't know what it is. Basically, so obviously night vision, really just seeing at night and being able to hunt at night without having all, like I just said, without all the, red lights on or spotlights on or car vehicle lights on. Basically, there's and again, I'm not explaining it 100%, but based on the podcast that I did, it's coming out on the 29th. You have basically the sensor.
Read the next one, Jace.
Oh. Don't listen to her. She's a troll, boys. She's trying to get me into bed for flange gasket. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Dear me. Well, mate, at least she was asking nice questions, I guess. But night vision, yeah, I mean, just being able to hunt at night, mate. So I know she's not really asking that, but yeah, man. How many people we've got? I think we'll probably start wrapping it up soon, I reckon, dude.
Definitely. I think we've gone 3 hours and 43 minutes. So it's been awesome.
We can get 3 hours and 45. If you've got any further questions, let us know in the comments. Let us know anything else that we can finally finish off. We'll maybe do a couple more, and then we'll probably let it go for the night. The pre-Christmas COVID special.
Thanks for all your content, Aaron and Jace. For the year, I've learned heaps and listened to your podcast. Just a great Christmas and a New Year's. Let's hope 2021 will be the year for Stags, Cheers, Boys. Well, it's got to be better than this year, surely. It can't get any worse, can it?
No, it can't get any, and if Jake wants to get, he's going to have to get a lamb for the spit, mate. The missus wants a lamb on the spit, mate. Don't leave her hanging, mate. And, happy wife, happy life, dude. Haven't you heard that?
Exactly. Yeah, that's it.
Jake doesn't. She's put him in the shit. She's put him in the shit.
Oh, you dumped him in it. Well done. But yeah, it's definitely been a great year. It really has, Jace. Yeah, it's been very humbling about everything. When the channel got taken down.
It hasn't really been a great year. It's been pretty shitty, to be honest. We can't hunt. We can't go to Queensland. We're just trying to make the best of a bad year.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's been a great year, and support for our channels and your podcast has been fantastic. People have stuck by us and listened to what we have to say. And when my channel got taken down, they stood by me and resubscribed. And that's another thing. Hit the subscribe button and the like button and support the channel, and find Jason's links below to his podcast. Every 2 weeks, he puts out a fantastic podcast on hunting and fishing and general sort of gun news. It's definitely the premium podcast in Australia. So please go and support him.
I was going to say, I'm going to have a bad joke here, Jake. I'm going to have a bad joke, man. It's a very, very bad joke. He goes, because Jake just followed up and said, I'll have to get her a spit. But I was like, have you ever heard of a spit roast, dude? Have you?
A pig on
This is not the spit roast we're talking about, dude. We're not talking about the actual spit roast, anyway.
It's not a PG-13 show.
Anyway, it's late at night. No one's watching, are they? So anyway, you got to have a laugh on this thing, man. That's what it's all about having a good laugh and, enjoying a thing. But what were you saying? Yeah, what were you saying? Go back again.
Yeah, just want to thank everyone for the entire year, for all your help and all your donations and absolutely everything you've done to help Jason and me, and the live stream every week, which is normally a Thursday night. We're happy to do one next week. If you guys want to do one next week, tell us in the comments, and we'll do one next week, a New Year's special, because we just love talking to you guys. It's not like Jason can go anywhere. He's in the New South Wales lockdown, and I don't have.
Luckily, I'm only in Western Sydney, so I'm not locked down at this time. Hang on, touch wood. I'm not locked down at this stage, man, to be able to go anywhere and stuff like that. So I can still travel in New South Wales, but what's the point? Can't go anywhere at this stage, and I've already taken leave. I've already got my leave booked. So what do you do? Luckily, it's only a couple of days with all the holidays in between.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a real shame. I was actually really, I've been working my ass off, and I was actually really looking forward to catch up with you, Jace, because you're one of my best mates, and we have a good time every Christmas shooting. And it's just a kick in the nutsack, basically. You can't come.
Yeah, it's been pretty shit, man. But hopefully next year's a bigger and better year, and up and up for both of us and all the people watching, and more people getting into shooting sports, and more people out hunting, and more people putting game on the ground. And man, like I said, life's short, man. One day we're not going to be here anymore, so do what you can while you can. Yeah,
definitely enjoy your life while you got it, and have the most fun, and you can just have, pretty much.
Yeah. And don't forget to check out the channels. I just do the podcast. I love making the hunting videos, so if you like that, I've gone, as I said earlier in the show, if you just joined in, I'm going to have one out probably in early New Year, the final day's hunting, the Varmageddon final stand, put it that way. It's going to be pretty all right. So it's just the footage I could throw together from the last day. So I think it's going to be pretty darn good. So AHP Outdoors, check it out if you like it. If you don't, well, can't do much, but I'm hoping you like it. Get a bit of fun, take you away on a bit of a documentary style hunting. I love watching hunting videos as well when I'm not hunting, because I want to feel like I'm there and out enjoying myself, and watch other people enjoy themselves hunting. Sort of makes you feel like you're out hunting yourself.
Exactly. And links in the description. And you can find his channels, Jason's channels, and his podcast. Definitely worth a look. So, guys, both of us wish you a very, very good Christmas. And we will probably talk to you before the New Year's anyway, but please enjoy your time with your family and your friends this Christmas, and just always think life is better will always get better. There's always a bright side to everything. So please enjoy your Christmas and your Christmas day and your events and whatever you're going to do. And yeah, just have fun with your family and friends. And Jason and me both really do appreciate your support through the entire year. We'll probably talk to you again next week. So, Jason, take it away. Anything you want to say?
No, not much really. Stay safe. Make sure you're not driving too much around on the roads because those bloody double demerit points are out there. The cops will be out. You know, we've had a few bevies tonight, so don't drink and drive and, you know, get through the holiday season. Last thing you want to lose is a family member with all the shit we've gone through this year with COVIDs and fires. And, you know, last thing we want is bloody deaths in our families and stuff like that. So, you know, get a taxi, don't drink and drive, you know, have a few bevies during your Christmas lunch, but don't do anything stupid. And, you know, don't drive where you have to on the holidays too much, you know, stay safe for next year. And, yeah, I mean, check out Aaron's channel, check out my podcast, check out some hunting videos that we've got. And hopefully you're going to like what Aaron's doing next year with a little bit of a different direction. You might take his channel. So, you know, getting back to sort of the fun aspect of shooting and enjoying ourselves. And, yeah.
Definitely. And thank you so much, Jason, for all your help with my channel. And I know you're very busy and you always take the time to help me out. That's what true friends are about. We're always here to help everyone. And we love talking to you guys. So, once again, Merry Christmas to everyone. Enjoy your Christmas day and the festivities. And we wish all the best for your family and your kids and yourself. And just have a lot of fun, basically. And we will talk to you next week. Take care and God bless you. Catch you later.